Good morning. Good morning, everybody. What's up? How's everybody doing? There's a lot of wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling news that have been boiling over this past weekend. So there's some stuff to talk about. There's a lot of questions. There's some things that I wanted to say. The Smackdown ratings, of course, came out. And that's something that I didn't get to talk about over the weekend. So I definitely wanted to talk about the Smackdown ratings because those are interesting. AEW Bound for Glory was last night. Nobody cared. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. But no, I just don't like them. You know what I mean? That Impact company, they've burned me so many times, like as a fan, and they've also burned me as a wrestling show or podcast or whatever you want to call what I do. They've been dicks. They have refused talent in the past to me. All kinds of reasons why I just don't like them at all. So I just really sort of stray away from wanting to talk about them at all, no matter what it is. But, I tried to review them last night. But shit went down at my place that, I don't know, I wasn't able to work last night apparently. So, whatever. But we'll talk about some of it. I stopped watching, so I'm going to have to go back and watch the rest of Bound for Glory. New Japan in America. I don't really care, though, about that. But, yeah, sure, New Japan's in America now. So there's some more wrestling for a oversaturated market of wrestling where there is no wrestling fans anymore. Which brings me to the name of one of my new podcasts that's going to be out. And we're going to put this on it. Not Enough Marks. It's a new podcast that I've worked on that I'm coming out with. And we're just going to talk about all the ways that, wrestling doesn't work or whatever, and put all the kind of conversations as to, I guess, a lot of, I don't know, man, like a lot of stuff that they could do that isn't working, that is working, that whatever the fuck. And I'm just going to call it Not Enough Marks. And the reason why I want to call the podcast Not Enough Marks is because there's not enough marks. That's the problem. That's one of the problems with wrestling. Nobody believes it anymore. Nobody has to believe it. So everyone's either a douchebag or a smark or a smart to the business person or whatever. There's not enough marks. There's not enough people that just see wrestling or see it and they get sucked in and they go, "Oh, wow." And there's a million reasons as to why there's not enough marks out there. You know what I mean? Look at what's happening. There's more wrestling reviewers now than there are anything else. Even go back to 2015. Go back to 2013 when I was doing this. Yeah, there was a few big wrestling YouTubers out there that were doing this. But at that time, that's when everybody started to want to get into that business of things. That's when everybody started to really want to get into doing this. You had your websites, the wrestling news sites that always had their podcasts and their videos that they would do on wrestling. Guys who originally did this years ago, back to even 2003 and 5 and 8. And now there's just every fucking dildo and their mother does something with a wrestling review or whatever the hell. And that's because there's not enough fucking marks out there. Not enough people that are just like, "Oh, I believe all this." And, eventually I'll get into all this stuff, but I'm sure that, yeah, some of us don't mind all the pro wrestling. I get it. Like, some people are loving all the pro wrestling. They're like, "Wow, this is just the greatest time," if you're one of the few wrestling fans. Problem is that nobody really, the problem is not a lot of people like wrestling. Like, not at all. That's the issue. And nothing could be more proof of that than the other day when I was at the Joker movie and I was watching the AEW commercial play over and over again. As the AEW commercial played over and over again, there were people in the theater and they were just bored sitting there staring at the screen. So I was like trying to listen because I was like, I wonder what people are saying about wrestling in here. And pretty much nobody got it. There was one person that said, like, that was like to the right of me, far right to me, And I was like, oh yeah, wow, I remember watching wrestling. Is this like the new WWE thing or something? What is this? And then somebody was like, I don't know. And then somebody was like, oh, is that Chris Jericho? And they're like, wow, he's still wrestling? He looks old. And that was one group next to me. Then behind me there was 4 women. 4 women, probably like 38 years old or something like that, 39, 38. And they were like, oh my God, like who watches that anymore? Remember that? Remember wrestling? Like, look at that. Like, oh wow, that's still on the air? I didn't even know that was still a thing, really. And one of the women said, oh yeah, Bob watches it all the time. He just never shuts up about it. And they were like, really? And they were like, oh, that's weird. He's like, yeah, he's like obsessed with it. And they were just like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, so like, nobody in the fucking theater was like, AEW. You know, nobody said that. No one thought that. No one was anything. And the only things I heard were these little comments. Like, one guy's to our left was like, what is this? Is this wrestling? Like, what is it? Like, and they just didn't even get it, or they didn't care to get it. And everybody I've talked to about it doesn't even care. Like, it's so weird. It's bizarre. But yeah, I'm gonna be recording Morning Madness on Patreon in a few minutes, so that's gonna go up in a little while on Patreon. Happy to say that we're at 393 patrons on Patreon, so you guys may get to see that 15-hour stream if we hit 400 patrons. Also, I put up a goal for the week. A lot of people wanted me to put up a goal. People love the goals. I don't know why, but people love the goals, and I took them down for the last couple weeks, and everybody was like, oh, I'll put it back up. It's fun. So I did, and I put a massive goal on there for, since I need a new computer, people were like, just put a goal up for the computer. Let's fund the computer. So I said, all right. I didn't do it for a long time, but I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'm going to have to get one anyway, but it will help out. So the goal's up there for that. We can try to accomplish that all week. If you guys want to ask questions, you can donate using Streamlabs in the description box or Twitch alerts in the description box, or use Super Chat. Super Chat doesn't count towards the goal, though, unfortunately, because Super Chats just don't work like that. But whatever you want to do, ask a question, wrestling, topic, whatever it is you want to talk about, just change the topic or create a question, whatever. I got them all turned on. And I've got a load of shit here to talk about, so I'm going to start moving on with that now. And but I did want to say that this I've been saying this for years, and I'm not saying these things to say look at me, I'm whatever the fuck. I'm saying them because everyone's now starting to say these things, but I've been saying these for years. And I used to rant on them years ago, and nobody else did. And when I brought them up, people would say, "Oh, whatever, whatever." And they would review the product, good or bad. But nobody would talk about the long-term implications that we were going through. Nobody talked about, I'm like, dude, eventually we're going to get to the point where people aren't at the shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't going to shows. We're going to get to the point where ratings are dropping. There's going to be problems. It's got to happen. And it did. And we're still projecting the numbers. We're still fucking projecting these numbers. And I still don't understand why people call it a drop on SmackDown. They're like, oh, the ratings on SmackDown dropped. No, they didn't. They were never fucking there. These fucking ratings were never there. They're like, oh, they did a 4 million or a 3.8, but now they're saying the number's like 4.4 million or 4.2 million or something like that. They're like, oh, SmackDown did a 4.2 million on that Friday. Yeah, it did because it was a relaunch. Raw did that too, you fuck. Raw did 5 million people when they had the 25th anniversary of Raw. Because you announced all these wrestlers, Stone Cold, Undertaker, all this stuff. And people tuned in like, oh, I want to remember that. And then they were like, yeah, but current product sucks dick, so I'm not going to watch. So, yeah, you tapped into the vein of the hardcore wrestling fans everywhere to watch. And by the way, that tells me that there's at least 5 million people that give a damn out there somewhere. You know, if you really pulled teeth, you could pull in 5 million people if you really fucking tried hard. But outside of that, there's really only about up to maybe 2.5 to 3 million people who give a shit right now at all. And even half of them, or even about 1 million of them, are kind of fucking fucked up over wrestling right now. But everybody else is just like, this sucks. Or, what is wrestling? Like, that's lame. That's basically what everybody else thinks.
Super chat. Super chat.
Cronin did it first. JD is a copycat fucker.
I did what first? What are you talking about? Well, yeah, I mean, I did do the wrestling talk first, but who cares? I didn't bring that up. You did. Why do you got to bring that up? Who cares? He got more subs faster. So, who cares? I don't know. What the fuck? Come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck, bro? Mike Amilto, thank you for the $2 super chat. You got a lot of people were asking me, please do a morning show. Please do a morning show. We'll see how it does today. If it doesn't do well, fuck it. Maybe we won't do them anymore. But what I might do is put the morning show up on Patreon on a podcast form. So if it doesn't look very good going live in the morning, what I will do is I'll put a podcast up on Patreon from now on, doing wrestling over, just uploading it, whatever the fuck. So thanks, Mike. I do appreciate that. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll find out. I used to do some morning shows like this once in a while. Much appreciated. But yeah, not enough marks, man. It goes back to not enough marks. Nobody's a mark. No, we don't have enough marks. Because now all the marks are in on everything. I mean, you got this guy playing a fucking video game, a Nintendo Switch. This wrestler playing a Nintendo Switch in the ring. And people yelling at me that I'm a scumbag for thinking it sucks. Just like Marco's stunt. Every week it's like another wrestler's under attack, and then everybody comes together and fights whoever criticized them and flips out. Who cares? If someone thinks Marco's stunt sucks, they think he sucks. Who cares? But, it's like, dude, do we all have to be fucking... Does everybody have to, rally around something and be like, he's great, they're all great, oh... Dude, I was attacked for fucking saying that I thought that the guy with the Nintendo Switch, I thought that sucked. And they were like, the kid's just trying something out, dude. Relax. JT Dunn was upset at me. The kid's just trying something. Yeah, okay, well, it sucks. I'm sorry. This is the stuff that's ruining wrestling. You can say it's not, and you can be like, no, you're fucking wrong. I don't care what you say. All these people are going to mark out for it, and the indie scene is going to do well, but other people outside are going to think it's stupid. And then hardcore wrestling fans and old-time wrestling fans are going to think it's stupid. And you're not... I don't know if you're creating a new audience with it. If you were creating a new audience with it, I would say maybe then it's good. But, dude, the Orange Cassidy stuff, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm also not a fan of him being in AEW. I like what they've done with Orange Cassidy in AEW. Because in AEW, Orange Cassidy has been used realistically, you know what I mean, for the most part. Sure, they've done the lights out thing with him, but that was funny to me. I actually liked that. You know what I mean? But wrestling a whole match with your hand in your pockets, that can be something different. But I still like him because in AEW that hasn't happened. Whenever he has his hand in his pockets in AEW, he's had his face smashed or he's been eliminated or whatever. Nothing has been like, oh, wow, that's unbelievable. I didn't see him in a ring with a fucking video game. You know what I mean? Dodging all these moves with his two hands on a fucking Nintendo Switch. Somebody find me that fucking video of that guy because I want to play a little bit of it because it just makes me angry. It's not, I don't think it's good. You know what I'm saying? I think it's, really fucking annoying and mean and fucked up. You know what I mean? So, give the kid a break and he's just trying something. It's dude, I'm not attacking the person. Do you understand that? I'm not saying, fuck that guy, hope he dies. He should be out of wrestling. Or whatever Cornette says or whatever the fuck. It's no, it's dude, now you've got a guy doing this. Well, it's now there's going to be a guy on a cell phone. There'll be that guy, a guy who doesn't really wrestle. He's on his cell phone while he's wrestling. The guy with his hands in his pockets while wrestling. The guy playing the Nintendo Switch while wrestling. There's going to be, the next thing is going to be a guy fucking jumping rope in the ring while wrestling. Leah, look at this. What do you think about this guy? He's playing a Nintendo Switch while wrestling. Leah just said it's dumb as fuck. That's my wife. That's dumb as fuck. Hurricane Rana while holding onto the Switch, and the guy gets thrown out of the ring, and the guy just prances around the ring yeah. Dude, this is fucking dumb. I'm sorry. Like, there are no more marks anymore. That's true. Not enough marks. But look at this. Fucking head scissor, fucking Hurricane Rana, whatever the fuck. And then he's like, I'm playing my Switch right now. Look at me off the rope. Like, and there's like hours of video. By the way, I know this guy because he's friends with a lot of people that I'm friends with. So I actually do feel shitty talking about him like this. But I think he's a great guy. I have no problem with the actual wrestler. I don't know who he is. He's probably good at wrestling. But it's like, I'm not attacking him. But all these fucking stupid indie wrestlers come screaming at me like, oh, you're attacking him. Leave him alone. What do you mean? He's fucking up the fucking business! And it's like, and then people will say, like, did the people like it? That's all that matters. Did the people like it? Yeah, the people in the crowd probably, maybe they did like it. In fact, they're cheering for him here. But this is not gonna gain you an audience with anybody who isn't a fucking idiot. And is this being a mark, though? Are these people marking out for a guy who's using a video game to wrestle a dude? I mean, I guess they are. So did you create marks with this? Before this, these people weren't clapping. They're clapping now. So where do we go on this debate? What can you argue with? This guy is wrestling while playing a Nintendo Switch. But you want to try to bring UFC fans into wrestling and all other fans into wrestling? It's not going to work when they see stuff like this. They're going to look at this and they're going to be like, this is retarded. Like Leah just came in. My wife just came in. That's retarded, she said. Most people are going to say that. They're going to be like, this is dumb. So all your like fucking, we're going to go ahead and, we're going to convert wrestling fans from the UFC to the WWE. No, UFC fans, they called me a fag. That's what they called me. UFC fans call me a fag for watching wrestling. That's what they say. Hey, dude, did you see what's his face? And I know you watch UFC. Did you see whatever the fuck, Ronda Rousey in the WWE now? Yeah, she's in the WWE. That's gay. Like, it's always some like homosexual thing or like homophobic comment or something, which I don't even think they're fucking homophobic. They're just saying like, they're just using those words. But it's just like, it's always something like that. But I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that. Nobody's going to start watching wrestling because of this. And the biggest problem with wrestling right now, I've been saying this for 3 years, and you guys can find these clips of me on Out of Nowhere. I've been saying it a million times. But we're not making any new wrestling fans, okay? That's the problem. No one's making new wrestling fans. ECW made a few new wrestling fans because people were like, wow, this is crazy. I'm watching this. So yeah, this is like ECW, everybody. These indie shows with the video game guy and the hands in the pocket guy, that's ECW. Because that was a small, niche, fucking little group of people that enjoyed this goofiness. That was a small, little group of people that enjoyed the ultra-violence and crazy adult stuff of ECW. It was a small, small audience. That's why it never got bigger. That's why it was big, but not big enough. That's what this is. AEW is going to have around 1.2 million viewers, if not a few less. I love AEW right now, but they're not. I don't know if they're going to create new wrestling fans. They need to create new wrestling fans. WWE is not creating new wrestling fans. They're trying to hold on to their old ones, and they've lost millions of them over the last 5 years. This is a sinking ship. This is legitimately a sinking ship all around as far as wrestling is concerned. Yet more wrestling companies are popping up than ever before, and eventually this bubble is going to burst. Nobody is becoming a WWE fan, really, that isn't a child. You know what I'm saying? And eventually the kids realize it sucks and they grow out of it. That's what happens. It's horrible. For every one mark that you create in WWE that starts watching WWE who's a kid, Mark or something, there's like fucking 5 or 10 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds who stops watching. So it's a downhill spiral right now. You know? There is no wrestling boom, Paul in the chat says. You are 100% correct. It's all, dude, wrestling is, oh, we're in a great time for wrestling. No, we're not. If you're a wrestler, it's a kind of a great time to be a wrestler. I will say that. If you're a wrestler, this is a pretty good time for you. You can go do indie shows and you can grab a fucking Nintendo Switch and pretend to wrestle with a Nintendo fucking Switch. And then after the game, people will buy your t-shirt on the indie scene. And you'll get a little indie following. And you can create a podcast or something. And then you can, if it's not working out one week, you can bash it over someone's head. And you can be like fucking super video game wrestle guy and like sell some t-shirts. Like, oh, the wrestling is great if you're like a fucking self-promoting single, entity. But, unfortunately, the actual industry is shit. Just like radio. Everybody can have a podcast now. Everybody can have a YouTube show now. Everybody can do anything now. You don't need to be in radio. And if you're in radio, you're making like fucking $28,000 a year. Unless you're signed to some kind of crazy lucrative deal that no one's ever heard of. Because right now, it's still Howard Stern. Howard Stern is still the top guy, and he sucks now. Howard Stern's a fucking lame-ass now. He's a big mail-it-in Hollywood douchebag fuck now. He's a sellout fuck. And all these morning show guys are getting paid shit now and can't say shit anymore. And if you do get funny and good on Sirius satellite radio, they dig into your past and call you racist or something like that. Especially if you're a comedian. So that's fucked too. Wrestling is screwed right now. And I've said this, how are you going to make new wrestling fans? How in the world are you going to make new wrestling fans? And I will take calls in a little while. I'm not ready yet. How are you going to make new wrestling fans? Right now I get it. AEW just needs to think about grabbing the wrestling fans that are there, getting them to watch, and then they can worry about trying to create some kind of new audience while being there, hopefully creating a new audience anyway. But wrestling is dead because it's been overexposed. All of the kayfabe is broken. It actually looks worse, less believable now sometimes than I think it ever did with some of the stuff that these guys do. Weak punches and weak strikes and horrible wrestling holds. My God, what the fuck did I watch last night at Impact on Bound for Glory? I hate to pick on, and see, here's the thing, if you criticize anybody, now the whole wrestling world comes together and attacks you. Oh, I think Marco Stunt sucks or whatever. Oh, leave him alone. Oh. And by the way, I like Marco Stunt myself. I like Marco Stunt. I did say something to the effect of, like, he looks like he's going to hurt himself out there, but he is like the new Spike Dudley. He's kind of like the brand new Spike Dudley. I don't have a problem with Marco Stunt. I don't give a shit. But it does get a little unbelievable, and it takes me out of it a little bit. But whatever. At least he's not putting his fucking hands in his pockets or playing a video game. So Marco Stunt is okay with me. I'm okay with Marco Stunt. But again, the minute you say anything about certain people, like, people just freak the fuck out. Like, oh, how dare you? Oh, fine. Enjoy your business fucking dying. Like, just everybody, like, I know that the podcasters and the news people, whatever the fuck, everyone's crying about wrestling sometimes. So now the wrestlers and the community of wrestling wants to cry too, like, right back at you and be like, leave him alone, you scumbag. No, I'm sorry. The truth fucking hurts, doesn't it? The fucking truth hurts that this shit is ruining wrestling. And you've ruined wrestling so you can be a mark for yourself. That's what it is. People are ruining wrestling so they can be a fucking mark for themselves in so many different ways. I'm talking about podcasters have done it. Wrestlers are doing it. Like, this is incredible. This is not the best time. Oh, this is the best time ever in wrestling right now. This is the best time ever in wrestling. No, it's not. For a wrestler, it might be. Because you can make money on the independent circuit. You can have WWE give you a $300,000 more than they would have before for a developmental contract because they're worrying about you going to AEW. You can get signed by Impact Wrestling because Impact Wrestling has nobody fucking left. You can probably get signed by Ring of Honor because their Ring of Honor has nobody fucking left. I mean, dude, right now for wrestlers, it's great. And that's why wrestlers are getting so offended by any attacks on the business. They get offended by attacks on the business for facts on the business. If you say a fact on the business, they get all offended. or if you give your opinion on a wrestler, they get all offended. You know why? Because they're worried about you exposing their piece of the pie that they have. Because they're all making money. So they don't give a shit if nobody else is watching because they're making money. And you're attacking that. They don't want that to be exposed. I get it. I totally get it. Ring of Honor is a fucking boring sack of shit right now. I told Ring of Honor for years, want to bring your wrestlers on my show, want to come on my show? Well, I think you should promote on all YouTube channels. I think you should invite people over. They actually did recently. They had Brian Zane guest commentate for them. I've been asking them for years to guest commentate or ring announce. I'd do it for free. For the exposure. Put me on color, put me on fucking commentary, put me whatever the hell you want to do. Invite me to Ring of Honor. I'll come do a vlog on the fucking show. And invite other people to Ring of Honor. Invite other YouTubers to Ring of Honor. And start getting... Because nobody reviews it, really. Nobody does. Same thing with Impact. Invite people to Impact shows. God, they suck. Last night, my God, Tennille Dashwood and Taya Valkyrie. What a piece of shit match that was. Did anybody watch Bound for Glory in the chat? And you can tell me if I'm wrong, but by God, Taya Valkyrie and Tennille Dashwood was fucking slow motion. Were they? I didn't even know if they were really hitting each. They look like there's one type of wrestling where you look like where you put all your might into kicking someone and punching someone, but you're not even close to hitting them, and they sell the shit out of it, and it looks awesome. That's the type of wrestling from like the 90s, 80s, and whatever. Like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. They would punch each other like they really punched each other and all these things, and they would never be hurt, but it would look like they were hurt. Mr. Perfect, Bret the Hitman Hart, Stone Cold, when they reared back and threw punches and kicks, it looks like they were really stomping the shit out of each other. It looked like they beat the shit out of each other. But you know what? Tennille Dashwood and Taya Valkyrie last night, they looked like they were afraid to hit each other. What a piece of shit match that was last night at Bound for Glory. The two of them should fucking retire right now. What a horrible pile of shit. I was embarrassed watching this fucking thing last night. I can't even believe that they fucking went out there and they put that match on there. They both look timid and tired and slow. What in the Christ did I watch last night at Bound for Glory? Jesus Christ. It was the most pathetic thing that I had. You're talking about fucking Bound for Glory. People paid $40 for it on the Fight Network. People paid $40 to watch you two slugs fucking go in there and half-ass wrestle. And look like you fucking were told before the match that you weren't going to get paid anything, so you got pissed off and went out there and didn't have any heart. This was... I'm sorry that I'm focusing in on this, but at one point TNA had the better women's wrestling in all of wrestling. What I saw Taya Valkyrie and Tennille Dashwood do last night, they might as well have walked out into the crowd and kicked people in the dick. They might as well have just Tennille and fucking Taya Valkyrie. Mostly Taya, though. Tennille was a little bit trying, but oh my God, man. I'm talking about missed kicks, weird timing on certain things, slow roll-ups and slow pins and lazy shit and staring at the crowd for a long time, and when you didn't get the pin, laying on the canvas, holding your head, and then waiting a while to get up, and just, are you having a fucking wrestling match? This was, and I don't know how the rest of the night went because I got so pissed off because my wife was upset at me. She didn't realize I was streaming, and she was like, "What are you doing?" Like, and I got mad, and I ended the stream. And I refunded somebody. Somebody donated $50 to me to have me do commentary and kind of react to Bound for Glory last night. And I had to I refunded them because I was like, hell yeah, $50. All right, dude, listen, I'll come on, and it might be fun anyway. And fuck the gaming stream, I'll do that. But then I just got pissed off, and I just said, fuck it, I'll end the stream. But so I haven't seen the rest of Bound for Glory yet. I don't even know if I want to watch it because TNA and Impact itself has been nothing but assholes to me. They've never fucking, it's just been annoying. And I don't even care. But anyway, I got to this point in this match, and I just thought to myself, what is this? They might as well have gone out in the crowd and punted the audience in the dick and then stole $30, $40 from their wallets. This was an embarrassment. This was horrible. Anyway, I'm done. There may have been other matches that were great, and I'll talk about that later once I see them. Okay? The Battle Royal that began the night, I thought that was okay. And I liked it. You know, it came down to Eddie Edwards, and he got the fall. And I thought that was nice. I thought that was okay. Nice little beginning. But this match made me want to rip my hair out. And yeah, I mean, I want to watch the rest of it, so I will watch the rest of it. And I apologize for seeing that match and bashing it. I'm sure that there were other matches that were good, and I will talk about them later, potentially, even though I'm fucking can't stand Impact with what they've done over the years to me. That's me being a bitch, I know, but I don't give a shit. I'm a bitter fuck, all right? I'm a bitter fuck at this point. I'm tired. I've realized that things are never going to go the right way with stuff that I want to. So, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care about sucking up to anybody anymore, and I never did anyway, because that's why people got pissed at me everywhere, and that's why I don't give a fuck. I kind of like held back a little bit the last fucking 5 months. I've been a little bit more tame. Like, all right, let me relax and try to love everybody and try to be cool. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm real as fuck and it's back. I don't give a shit. I liked Tennille Dashwood. I liked her in NXT. And there was parts of Taya Valkyrie that I really loved too. But in this match, just this particular one, this was a fucking... And now, maybe they were, like, sick and they had a fever or something I don't know about. If you told me that, if you said, like, oh, Taya Valkyrie had a fucking fever and Tennille Dashwood was injured or something, I'd be like, oh wow, okay, well, that's a whole different thing. But that was tough to watch.
10.
Ladies and gentlemen, the perfect 10. We're talking wrestling in the morning here.
Thanks for the entertainment for my drive to work. A
You got
little
it.
something for the new computer.
Hey, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice, baby. Thanks for the $10, man. I really appreciate it. I do want to thank you so much for the $10, man. I appreciate it. Hope work goes good for you today. God, I remember. Do you guys remember that time I streamed going to work in the morning when I used to sit in traffic all the time? I know all about all that shit, dude. I sympathize with all you guys on the way to work right now. If you guys remember, I used to fucking sit. It used to take me an hour and a half to get to work, and I would stream sometimes on YouTube just flipping out going to work. I'm sure some people miss that. But yeah, it would take me an hour and a half to get to work. I'd be at work for 12 hours. Then I would drive home. That would take an hour. And then I would I'd kiss my kids goodnight. And then I would start wrestling. It was fucking insane. I do miss that place though, man. I've said this before, but I miss the people's faces. You know, I worked there for 4 years. I went through my job history on Patreon under my Morning Madness podcast where I talked about all the places I've worked in my life. And I pretty much held a straight job from the age of 14 or 15 until now. You know, I've always worked. I had a couple 4 months off periods where I lost a job or left a job or whatever. But I've done a lot of jobs, man. I've done almost everything. I've done sales, phone sales, inside sales, outside sales, driving sales, Windows sales. I've been a manager, an assistant manager, an associate, retail, clerk, fucking delivery guy, auto parts delivery, pizza delivery, satellite installation, cable service guy, fucking door-to-door salesman for stuff. Clark's fucking shoes, fucking goddamn customer service, fucking all the way up to a management position, multitasking, administrative assistant, career development. I've done so many jobs, man. I've seen so many different things. And as a kid, I used to work for my mother's business with her stupid drunken boyfriend, cocksucker, who, I worked when I was a kid, painting boats, sanding boats, rust locking things, engines, MIG, TIG welders, fucking sanders, torches, driving boats, boating license at the age of 10, operating a boom truck, a forklift. And that was all before the age of 15. Operating a crane, fucking sweeping, painting, cutting, sanding, scraping, bilge pumps, emptying boats, carrying things, moving things, mover. I've done fucking so much shit that your head would fucking spin. But I've been in a band. I've been in a band that toured. Sold t-shirts, sold fucking CDs, got signed by Century Media, fucking played shows with goddamn fucking Skin Lab and fucking Lamb of God and Hatebreed. I've been a wrestler. I've been a fucking pro wrestler. I wrestled in the backyard. Then I got trained. Got trained at Killer Kowalski's for a little while, then got trained personally by Spike Dudley. Fucking went to California, got some training there, came back to the fucking U.S. I mean, it feels like a different country, but it came back to Massachusetts. I wrestled Kofi Kingston when he was in NECW. I wrestled fucking 30 professional matches or so. I became a referee for a little while when I was taking time off after an injury. Fucking refereed some matches. Went to school for TV and broadcasting. Dropped out. Got a little radio gig. Worked at Nesson, pulling some cables and plugs and wires for the Boston Red Sox and Boston Bruins. Called some fucking hockey on a local radio station. I've done so much shit your fucking head would spin. And in the last 7 years, I've called indie wrestling for multiple different companies. And all the while, since 2007, tried YouTube. Tried this shit on YouTube. And since fucking 2003, tried an internet radio show. I've fucking done it, man. Name it, I've fucking done it. Or I've tried to do it. Doesn't mean I fucking kind of didn't really... I guess nothing ever worked out the right way except for this, finally. So, there's no way, I'm like fucking bulletproof. When somebody insults me or tries to attack me or says I'm not credible or all these things, or some new wrestler who's been wrestling for the last 8 years on the independent scene wants to get smart with me about, you don't fucking know about us and our business. Yeah, dude, you were a fucking retard 5-year-old when I was fucking wrestling fucking goddamn Kofi Kingston, you idiot. So, bring it on, I fucking had crazy alcoholism for 3 years. I should be dead. I was an idiot. I was a fucking moron. I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning multiple times. I should be dead. I was a moron. I did all kinds of things that I thought I'd never do in my life. And I snapped out of it finally. And now I've got kids and a family and a house. And most of it's because of you guys. Because of you listening right now. You guys have done this for me. I love the fuck out of you. So when you tell me that I made your drive to work a little bit better, I every last thank you to you for that $10 and every last thank you for what you do for me is 100% real. Because although, you're always going to battle depression, you're always going to try to battle getting to the next level. I'm always going to do that. Although that's the case, no way could you imagine the fucking gratitude that I have for all the people listening to this show right now, and the Patreon people and the Joe Crone Show listeners here, and the people that reach to me offline, and the people that are battling something way more worse than anything we're talking about here in life. You got fucking cancer, friends got cancer, mom's got cancer, mom just died, son just died, whatever the fuck. Horrible shit that you don't even want to talk about because you're embarrassed. You don't want to put that on other people, so you hold it in. But at least you can listen to these shows on YouTube or Podbean or whatever the fuck. On iTunes, you know what I mean? I'm there with you, man. People, probably some of you, people can't imagine the shit you're going through at home. But here we are to talk about wrestling. So let's continue doing that. Anyway, what the fuck? What is wrong with me? So yeah, Bound for Glory. My impressions are that that Battle Royal match was fun at the beginning. I enjoyed it. I also enjoy when it becomes a pin in the last 2 men. It becomes a pin, a fall. That was kind of cool. I didn't even realize it, and so that was fun. I like that. I know that that's a thing they've usually done, but you know what I mean. I just didn't realize it. Ken Shamrock almost fucking died. Ken Shamrock does a suicide dive or a crossbody. And I'll tell you what, dude, a lot of people were praising Ken Shamrock. They were like, wow, look at Shamrock go. Not enough people praising Moose for saving his fucking life. He fucking torpedoed sideways and was about to come crashing down headfirst Undertaker style. And credit to Moose, man, for stepping up into him a little bit and saving that, because goodness gracious, was he about to break his neck. But at the same time, wow, Ken Shamrock. That was impressive. And, you know, I would say that Ken Shamrock probably, is about the age of The Undertaker when he did that big leaping dive and the cameraman missed or whatever and Undertaker almost broke his neck. And he came down crippling like a fucking missile with no guidance system. That was very similar to what Shamrock kind of did. And Shamrock's a smaller guy, so it wasn't as bad. He turned his body. But yeah, Moose, man, with the catch. Moose saved Ken's life. But I do want to say that I really appreciate the story that Ken Shamrock and Moose built up. I thought it was really good. And I know that I'm a big baby asshole. I know that I'm a baby. And I'm a fucking baby. And I don't want to talk about Impact because of, I couldn't get wrestlers on the show and they were dicks to me and I couldn't be a commentator and I've tried with that company. And I am. I'm a real prick right now. I really am. But I gotta give them credit with this, man. They really did a good job with that build-up video they put up about Ken and Moose. And God, I'd love to show it to you guys, but you know how Impact is. They'll fucking take that down because they're cocksuckers. I wish I could talk about Impact Wrestling every week, but I just won't do it because they're assholes. So I won't do it. Because I'm a cunt, and I admit that I'm a dickhead. By the way, Joey Janela and Kenny Omega, top 10 match of the year. I'm not going to talk about it again because I've already talked about it about 1,000 times. But I liked it so much, I've watched it for a fucking 5th time. I've watched it for a goddamn 5th time. By the way, thanks to Anthony Brooks who sent me a clip of that dude with the goddamn... the video game shit. But yeah, so I've watched Kenny Omega and Joey Janela for like the 5th time. I was there in Boston. I put my own commentary behind it because I was just having so much fun with it. It was so goddamn good, man. Joey Janela and Kenny Omega, great goddamn chemistry. They killed it. I love it. I watched it again the other day. Also, shout out to Joey Janela because the other day when I was tweeting about it, whenever I tweet about it, I usually don't tag Joey Janela because Joey blocked me on Twitter, so I don't tweet. It doesn't let you tag someone who blocked you, I think, so I usually don't do it. But the other day I was like, I'm gonna write it anyway because I want to give credit to Kenny and Joey, And as I was writing it, I realized Joey Janela unblocked me. Holy shit!
Praise Jesus, Joey Janela unblocked Joe.
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. But no, yeah, Joey Janela unblocking Joe Cronin on Twitter. What a sign of good faith. Not following, but he did unblock me. Don't know why he did that. Maybe he realized, all right, I had enough torturing this idiot Joe. And maybe he realized, maybe he saw my video of that I liked his match. I mean, maybe he realized that that I actually fucking love the dude. That could be what it is. I don't know. But either way, Joey Janela, and I had him blocked too, by the way. Oh, man. But yeah, Marco Stunt, man. The stuff on Marco Stunt, listen. I get it if you want to be a little critical of wrestling and you want to criticize him, and maybe you don't like Marco Stunt. That's cool. I'm not going to be someone who's like overly defending the guy, like, Marco Stunt's the shit, leave him alone. I don't care. Go ahead and crap on him if you want, but I don't see a problem with him, really. He's like the new Spike Dudley. He's the new fucking Spike Dudley. Dude, I'm more worried about the guys playing Nintendo Switch during wrestling matches. Okay? Marco Stunt came in, had a pretty fun little thing. Unfortunately, I think that one of the reasons why people are upset is because they really wanted Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to tear it up, and they were gonna do that, man. They were probably gonna win this fucking thing. At least most people thought that. But what is this? Is this it? Oh yeah, this type of stuff drives me nuts.
Doing this, and this is real, this is legit. I just had to make this video to share this with you because as a Nintendo fan, as a wrestling fan, this just has gold written all over it. Let me just go ahead and shut up real quick so you guys can go ahead and check out this clip.
This has gold written all over it? Like, dude, I don't get it. What do you mean this has gold written all over it?
I got you. I'm a gator.
This guy just falls over, by the way. This guy, he just falls over on his own. Like, it's really stupid. Oh. By the way, that's Tony P, the referee. I'm friends with him. I love you, Tony. How dare you referee this match? Ugh.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that is the funniest thing ever. When I first saw...
Now, I don't know about you guys, but that was definitely the funniest thing ever. That was so cool. Yeah, you're killing the business. I never thought I'd be the guy. I never thought I'd be Jim Cornette. I can't believe I'm turning into... What am I, turning into fucking Jim Cornette? Jim Cornette hates my guts. But I can't fucking believe I'm saying it. You're killing the fucking business. I can't believe I'm saying that. I really can't believe it. It's wrestling. That, I don't know about you guys, but that was really cool. Was it? Why? Why is it cool? Why is it cool? Because Orange Cassidy keeps his hands in his pockets and has those matches. Now you get a guy with a Nintendo Switch. What's next? Oh yeah, dude, I'm just gonna be. Oh, look out, fucking. Oh, fucking. So is my bear match like in now? Should I like release my bear match? Me wrestling a bear? Because I did that as a joke for my show, which was clear as day that it was a joke for my show. Somebody brought this up the other day. They were like, Joe, you wrestled a fucking teddy bear multiple times. Like, doesn't that make a mockery of wrestling? No, because I'm obviously joking around pretending to wrestle a bear. I'm not in a real professional wrestling ring at an indie event wrestling a teddy bear. That would be, I think that would be kind of weird too, but it would be less problematic because you are wrestling a fucking bear. So if you're wrestling a bear, at least it's like, well, he's joking, he's pretending to wrestle with a teddy bear. That's funny. It's not as exposing the business as much, but this is fucking ridiculous. Unknown callers on the phone. Hello.
Hey Joe, what's up?
What's up, man?
Nothing. If you think that's bad, have you seen those matches with the Invisible Wrestler? Because that might be the worst.
Oh, dude, I people sent that to me. I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, and the crowd actually reacts to it. So I mean, if anything, can't get more marquee than that.
Well, and that's the thing is, I think these people on the indie scenes are doing okay. You know what I mean? Like they're creating a world for themselves. Like they're getting over with these indie crowds, and that's really good, I guess. But it's like, as far as wrestling as a whole, and that's why I don't have a problem. That's why I like Orange Cassidy in AEW. They haven't done anything unbelievable with him in AEW. You know, he's had his face slapped, and then he's been thrown over the top rope. But yeah.
And then my other question: how about those 4 black marks that tore Drew's wife's pussy?
Oh no! Oh my God! No! No! Oh no! Oh my God! No! Oh my God, Drew's, why? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh my God. So does that mean my match with the bear is like the greatest thing ever now because I wrestle a fucking teddy bear? Like, does me wrestling a teddy bear, does this mean like, so is this match just fucking like awesome now because like a guy can wrestle an invisible dude? Like, so, like, me wrestling this teddy bear, is this like a fucking... Am I over now because I wrestle this bear? Look at this super kick. Wrestling match now instead because... Oh, wait a minute! Oh, Cronin, he attacked the bear! Out of nowhere, he suckered him! Cronin absolutely suckered. Look out, come on! Come on, Smith, get in there and break... By the way, these kicks on the bear... These kicks on the bear. Hey, I want you to look me in the face. Tennille Dashwood and fucking Taya Valkyrie. These kicks that I'm about to put on this fucking fake teddy bear, look better than the kicks that you guys put on each other in that match at Bound for Glory tonight. And I'm not really even kicking the bear, by the way. Even if the bear was a fucking child, he wouldn't have been hurt because they were fucking worked kicks, worked punches in many cases.
This up, the referee. He's going to have to watch Cronin like a hawk in this one.
Well, that was a bit of a stiff elbow, though, I'll tell you that.
I don't think Cronin wanted this match to be fair and square. He wanted some kind of hardcore thing, and oh man, into the turnbuckle goes the bear. Across, into the other turnbuckle.
Wow, I'd be so over if I was at House of Glory right now.
And now Cronin scoops him. And a slam down to the canvas.
Because I'm an out of shape wrestling commentator and wrestling announcer, and I can fight a bear.
Going upstairs now. What's he doing here? Cronin up top.
By the way, these shoes I'm wearing have a 2-inch platform on them that stick down. So trying to stable myself on the ropes in these shoes was retarded. I actually had wrestling gear, but I left it at home and didn't even realize it. So I had to just wrestle in what I came in. I had this hilarious wrestling outfit.
Oh, a little suck-in action off the top. Off the second rope, rather.
Wow, this is gold.
2. Oh, the bear kicked out. It's gonna
all I'm missing is a Nintendo Switch, guys.
Be fair and square here. We actually have a referee, so there can't be any kind of cheap maneuvers by Cronin. A shot to the head. And now Cronin setting up the bear. Setting up Teddy the bear. Look out, what a suplex. By Cronin, go for another cover. 1, 2. Now the bear kicked out. The face. Another one to the face of Cronin.
Wow, I could have been in House of Glory.
Oh, he goes flying outside the ring.
And it's even more impressive because I'm out of shape.
Now Cronin locking up with the bear. Reverses it across the back. Now look out. Side suplex maneuver out of it. I think that might be. You're going to go. Oh, wait a minute, the bear. Oh, look out. RKO.
I got fucking RKO'd. Wow, this is crazy. I would have been great at HOG. Put me on with Solomonster.
2. Oh, Cronin kicked out. 2. Cronin kicked out. Someone's gonna cover someone. Bear already.
This is the great. I love this referee bump. This is, and by the way, this referee bump looked better than anything Tennille Dashwood did last night with Taya Valkyrie. This fucking referee sold this bump better than they sold in their match last night.
This time, Cronin down. Oh, he throws the bear. Oh, right into Smith. Right into the referee. The referee just got taken out. Cronin threw the bear. Then he hit the referee right in the face. Where's Cronin going?
By the way, don't go anywhere. I've got a ton more wrestling news to get to here. There's a lot of shit going on today.
What the hell's he doing? Cronin's outside. Oh my goodness, no.
I'm pissing right now in a bucket.
Oh my God, he's got Devious Dave Rose's bear mace. That's the bear. Oh, he's spraying him in the face. Give me a break. The referee's down. Joe Cronin's using Dave Rose's bear mace. How the hell did he get it here? Dave Rose FedExed it from Canada. The referee's up. What the hell? No, come on. 2, no, 3. Oh, give me a break. Yes.
Amazing. Look at that.
You gotta be kidding me. Joe Cronin cheated.
I beat a fucking bear.
He maced
I beat
the
a bear. I beat a goddamn bear.
The bear like a Canadian would.
Take that.
You goodness, this is disgusting.
You like that? You stupid idiot. Go back to the forest. You one-eyed freak. Go back to the forest.
This might be the lamest thing I've ever done, by the way.
Pummeling away now in the bear. Come on, it's over. Damn it, it's over. You cheated, and you're the champion, but it's over. Cronin just... This is despicable. Someone's... Wait a minute, look out. Wait a minute, someone's coming out to help the bear.
What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, Teddy? Wrestling a bear?
That's Teddy Goods.
I like how the camera's out of focus.
Get the hell out of here right now. Teddy bear? Get out of here. Bro, you want to wrestle a teddy bear? How about you wrestle Teddy Goods?
Oh my God, he...
Dude, that fucking kills me. That's Teddy Goods, Oni Lorcan's former tag team partner. And Teddy goes, yeah, you want to wrestle a bear? How about you wrestle Teddy Goods? That's so homoerotic. I love it. I love how homoerotic this is. Like, I'm so down. Like, we should have just banged instead of wrestling.
Who wants to wrestle Cronin? Cronin just said, what's that? Oh, look out. He tried to cheat on him. Oh, Teddy caught him with the right hand. Teddy Goods caught him. Here comes Teddy. Oh, running knee to the Cronin to the outside. Teddy Goods came here to stick up for the bear. Cronin's back in the ring. They're sending Cronin to the outside. He's checking on the bear.
This might be the most ridiculous thing ever. Put it on fucking an indie show. Put it on a fucking indie show, bro. Put it on an indie show. We would have gotten over.
Teddy Good's making sure the...
By the way, at this point, I was dead tired because I hadn't even run in like 7 months, and I was there wrestling. Dude, I was out of breath here, for real.
Bear's okay. Cronin's back up. Teddy, turn around. Cronin's back in the ring.
He's checking on the bear.
Oh, man, look out. Cronin firing away on Teddy, who was trying to help the bear, damn.
Look at those shots. Take note, Tennille and Taya.
And a shot across the head. Joe Cronin jumping. Oh, he poked him in the eye. Cronin poked Teddy Goods right in the eye.
Yeah, fuck punching him. Just poke a guy in the eye. Like, why the fuck would I keep punching this giant wrestler? Just poke him in the eye. Poke him in the goddamn eye.
I gotta tell you, I've seen Teddy Goods in a lot of matches with Mike Bennett, the Kingdom, and all over the place. Look out, Cronin just set up that steel chair in the corner. He set up that steel chair in the corner. Now he's raking Teddy Goods' eyes across the ropes. A couple of shots again, another huge one to the back. Now Cronin setting up Goods. What's he doing? Reload the corner. He's gonna throw Goods in the chair. Look out! A reversal. Goods. Oh, Cronin into the chair instead. Cronin down. Cronin back up. Look out! Super kick to the face. Goods caught him. Goods caught Cronin with a super kick. 1, 2, 3. We have a new champion. I can't believe it. Teddy Goods. Teddy Goods came out here to stick up for the bear. And now he's the new World Internet Podcasting Champion. Teddy just said I'm giving it to the bear. He's telling the bear everything's going to be okay. I'm the champ.
What in the world is this?
Cronin's rolling around over here like an
What in
idiot.
What in the world is this?
And there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Thank you for watching. I can't believe it. Teddy Goods is the new champion. This is incredible. Teddy Goods.
What the fuck? Now, would you ever expect to see something like as dumb as that anywhere but on a dumb fucking YouTube show with a guy like me who's a moron? It's like, but I wouldn't expect to see a guy playing a video game in a match with somebody in a real show. Wouldn't expect to see it. But guess what? You can see it.
Super chat. Super chat.
Because I can.
Mike Ameltoe, thank you for the $2. You're right. You can do anything, damn it, Mike Ameltoe. Mike Ameltoe, you got that right. You can absolutely do anything you want to do, man. Yeah, I was pretty fat there.
Kill it. Oh wait. Oh my God! I broke my face. Oh God! I broke my face. Yeah. I think I'm. Yeah. Oh! What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God!
Cook the hamster broski.
Oh my God! My face.
Yo, Gook the Humpster.
I want to eat a serving of General Tao's chicken right out of Bailey's vagina. Extra soy sauce. Damn, I can taste that cumulace strice just thinking about it.
Oh my.
Yum yum cum.
Oh my God. Fucking Gook the Humpster Broski. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? Jesus Christ. What? What in the world, dude? Gook the Humpster Broski, thank you very much for that donation, though, man. It will be put towards
What
food.
else we got? Oh,
And
a
a
little
computer.
bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
A little bit of the bubbly. Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
NW sucks, WWE sucks, NXT sucks, TN sucks, AEW sucks, NJPW sucks, ROH sucks.
Wow.
Wrestling sucks. Everything and everybody sucks. Thanks WWE for ruining wrestling. SMH.
Mike Ameltoe, thank you for the $3, man. Wow, he is upset at everything. It sounds like he hates all wrestling. Jesus. That's amazing, man.
Here we go.
You're really mad at everything.
Man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no.
Too many matches across each brand, no storyline to keep people. The match has always been the icing on the cake.
Too many matches across the brand storyline to keep people. Yeah, I mean, I think some of it has a problem with the way that there's too many things going on in some cases, but some things I think there's just not enough going on. Rise of the CJC, thank you. Too many matches across each brand, no storylines. Yeah, they need more storylines. They need more promos, stuff like that. Promos can trend if they're really shocking and really hit hard. You know, that's why I think, like, yeah, storylines are tougher to do, and you got to come up with these certain ways to shoot it and to make things look good and to make it believable. But one thing you can do is you can shoot promos. You can shoot them without a script and just hit the record button. And you can be like, dude, go hard as fuck in this one. Dude, say this type of, do whatever you want, but try to be as hard as fuck. And then if it's really like a devastating promo, stuff like that is going to trend and do well on social media. But you put it out on TV and you get it on social media. But again, the one thing that everything has in common is, despite the fact that you can make these promos, you can make these storylines, you can make these matches, and all the current wrestling fans like us are going to see it, and maybe some of us are going to choose to watch it. There's about 3 million people up for grabs out there. 3 million wrestling fans up for grabs. Right now, AEW has about 1 million. But what are you going to do to create new fans? That's what everybody should be thinking about. And it doesn't matter who does it. If WWE creates new fans, that's great, because they may find AEW after that, and they may fucking switch back and forth between both. If AEW creates new fans, they may say, oh yeah, that WWE, I've heard of that before, but I never really cared to watch it, but I like this AEW stuff, but let me go check out WWE now. Maybe I'll watch that too. I used to think it was stupid, but maybe I'll watch it. Oh, it is stupid. Back to AEW. You know, probably what would happen. But either way, you're creating fans. So how are you going to create fans in wrestling? That is a huge, huge fucking question and a huge problem. You can't just rely on the current fans. You can't just be like, we're going to steal some of WWE's audience. We're going to try to bring back some of the old fans that were disenfranchised. Yes, that's all on the table. That's all obvious, and we're always doing that. But what in the world are they going to do to create new fans? And that is something that I should have asked Cody Rhodes when he was on my show last week. I should have asked Cody and Brandy. I should have said, yes, of course we're going to bring back some of the old fans who stopped watching. We're going to grab some of the current fans all over the place, whatever the fuck. But Cody, how in the world are you going to do what WCW did and what WWE did in the 90s, in the late 90s? How are you going to create new wrestling fans? Can you do that? Is it possible? Because in the 90s, WCW went from 2 and 3 million people watching to fucking 8 million people watching. I was in class with kids who said wrestling sucks. That's lame. Or isn't that fake? Or I heard it was fake. Or I don't even know who that is. Hey, dude. Hey, you guys want to come over tomorrow night and watch Shawn Michaels is wrestling Sid for the WWF Championship? Who's Shawn Michaels? What are you talking about? Wrestling, dude. What? You know, like wrestling, like Hulk Hogan? Hulk Hogan. Oh yeah, like he's like a wrestler guy. Yeah, I think I've heard of him, but I don't know. I don't watch. Fucking fast forward 3 years later. Fucking NWO for life everywhere. Fucking, what the fuck? Everyone's watching wrestling. Same kids that didn't know what the fuck I was talking about are NWO WCW fans, and they're watching Hulk Hogan for the first time. How the fuck did WCW do that? That's what you need to be thinking about out there if you're Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice if one of the companies fucking did it for you, right? If any one of them did it. If WWE suddenly found a way to cultivate new listeners or whatever the fuck, new listeners, they're doing the work for you, because now you just have to be the best you can be and advertise, and you may get some fans, they become fans, then they start learning about AEW. So that works for you. So if you can be the best wrestling product you can be, you can get the wrestling fans to watch your product. But somebody is going to have to create new fans. It's just a fact. Somebody's going to create new fucking fans. Because right now, all we're doing is bleeding fans. Everyone is bleeding fans, no matter what. 704 is on the phone. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
I just wanted to call and say I love your passion about the business. And I've been watching for a long time, and I originally just quit watching wrestling altogether because I've been tired of WWE's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, tired of being mocked and people looking down on you and everything for even watching wrestling. And I just stopped saying I watched it. But ever since AEW came up, and I feel like a kid again, and I'm not embarrassed to say I even watch them.
Yeah, no, but it's like nobody wants to say they're into wrestling. It's I was at the Stop and Shop the other day, like it's our grocery store or whatever, and I was wearing an old Bret Hart shirt, and a guy said something to me. He was like, "Wow, nice shirt," and I was like, I felt like, you know what I mean, you feel that weird way, like, but like if I was wearing a current wrestling shirt, he wouldn't have even known. Nobody there would have. Nobody there would have known what I'm wearing. Nobody there would have said anything, but that guy knew the Bret Hart shirt, and I said, "Yeah, do you watch? You gonna watch AEW?" And he was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, I don't really watch it anymore. It's pretty bad now." And I was like, "Yeah, like, I guess so."
Yeah, I love it. Just brings me back to the Attitude Era and just the way they do things, and Chris Jericho's promos and Moxley's promos. I'm so fucking glad they're back on, what's going on.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what else happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about AEW, no doubt about it. But I have to have that little bit of cynicism in there that, and thanks for the call, man, good call. That it's like, yes, I love that AEW is here and they've done a good job, and I hope it keeps getting better. I hope this week is a bounce back week. I thought last week was their weakest show. I hope this week can be a step up from last week. But again, what are they going to do to grow fans? What are we going to do here to create new wrestling fans? And I'm not saying it has to happen right now because they're just worried about getting their solid fan base going. And that's what they need to do, and that's perfect. They're doing all the right things. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. But we got to think about creating new fans at some point. Otherwise, everybody's going to keep bleeding probably.
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no.
How much did wrestling die when WCW went out of business?
I think there was a small part of the fan base that did die because they were like guys that were like, I am not watching WCW. Dope Dubs Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. So yeah, I think there were some people that were like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch that no matter what. But I don't think it died. I thought it was WWE was riding high, and they continued to ride the wave. I would say around 2003 and 4 and 5, WWE really started to kind of like dip down a little bit, but then they kind of came back to life again. And I want to say that WWE really started taking a downturn right after the PG stuff. When they went PG, it got worse, and then it would just continuously kind of get worse and worse. I would say from 2008 on, things would just kind of decline. It would start to decline. And it got so bad that in 2010, that's when I started ranting on it on YouTube. And then by 2012, I launched this show. So, and here we are in 2019 in a weird, like, worst time ever, but yet a very most interesting time in the last like 15, 20 years. It's very interesting. It's very weird.
Super chat.
Going to Raw tonight.
Oh.
Fiend Seth cage match.
Why
Sign
would you?
of the Horns.
Why would you, though? Too sweet. Thank you for the $2. God, if anybody asked me if they would go to WWE, I would tell you no, don't go.
Super chat party.
Joe, you're awesome. I would love to be your friend.
Oh, that's terrifying. No, I'm just kidding. No, Fendi White, thanks for the $1.99. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, I wish I had some more friends. That'd be cool. You're kind of a friend now. We're not like personal friends that hang out, but we have a good time. Fendi, thanks for the $2, man. And yeah, shout out to everybody who became a patron. I'm going to have more Patreon content up this week. Didn't get it up over the weekend because we were so busy with the other stuff. But it's coming, and we're up to 393 patrons. We're getting close to 400, so that's really, really good. Definitely need to keep it going, though. People keep signing up, keep renewing every month, and all the bonus content's over there. Okay, I've got stuff. I've got a couple more things here. Yeah, the women's match was terrible. Ken Shamrock almost died. Pretty good stuff, though. I didn't see the match, though. WWE ratings on SmackDown. We should talk about that. I mean, again, I sort of started the show with that, with the SmackDown ratings, and I've kind of lost the ratings here. I had them pulled up, and now I think I've lost them. Let me see if I can go back and find them. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Yeah, here we go. I mean, again, we expected this. And this is from WrestlingInc.com, by the way. You can get these numbers off of them. They've transcribed these. WrestlingInc.com, baby. Raj Giri. August 27th, SmackDown did a 2 million viewership. Then it did a 2.1, then went back down to 2.061. And they were just over 2 million viewers. Then they did the Fox premiere, which we expected that when you announced The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, and all these different people, that you're probably going to get a similar audience that you got for Raw 25, which was over 4 million people. And you got that. You got 3.8, and with DVR, you get about 4.2, 4.4 million people watching with DVR. And the very next week, over 1 million people tuned out. Of course. So the ratings didn't drop, really. It was that, those people were not ever planning on watching the next week. And then a lot of people did tune back in. I actually looked at, to be honest, I looked at this as a success. The drop from Raw 25 to the next week was way worse than this. This wasn't bad. You actually kept you actually had about 800,000 more people watching the second week than you did any other week except for that Fox premiere. So yeah, 1 million people didn't come back, but whatever, at least you still have a higher number. SmackDown is still doing a 2.8. So that show should have been really focused on keeping that audience that decided to tune in again. So you really need to hook those people, because if you can hook the shit out of them, then you might have 2.5 the next week. And then if you can put another good show together, you might have 2.5 or 6 or 7 the next week. And then if word of mouth gets out there that SmackDown is really good, you might have about 500,000 people who don't watch who tune in because they're like, well, I'm hearing SmackDown's good now. I'm going to check it out. And then you might have been able to get away with doing a 3-something. You might have been beating Raw in the ratings if you'd done something shocking and amazing and interesting every week on SmackDown and wrote a fucking good show. You would have had 3 million people. And then if you start building more and more, maybe you would have gone up a little bit more. And then maybe eventually a good wrestler would come along and the crowd would gravitate towards someone, and you'd create a character again. And then you'd create some more shocking, fun content and wrestling stuff. And maybe it would go to 3.5, go to 4. And then maybe all the old school wrestling fans were like, I got to hear about this. I'm hearing all this craziness. And then you bring them back in again. Maybe you call Stone Cold back again. Maybe you hit a fucking 5 in the ratings. But no, instead you delivered a piece of shit show for the week after the Fox premiere. Just like you did during the Raw 25 anniversary. You presented a show that was made for the fan who was coming back for one night only. Instead of making a show for the fans that were coming back for one night only, but holy shit, wrestling's awesome again. I forgot about this. I'm going to watch next week. But you didn't do that. And you didn't do that here. You didn't learn last time. You didn't learn this time. It's almost like you're, I don't know, retarded? So there you go. You lost 1 million people. And then you lost 400,000 people. And you know what? Next week, you're going to lose more. Newsflash, and you're on fucking Fox. You're on goddamn regular TV fucking Fox. It's not USA Network. You're on Fox, and you're getting raw numbers. You're getting USA raw numbers on fucking Fox. Do you understand that? That next week it's going to be 2.2. I almost guarantee you guys 100%. 2.2, probably about 2.2 next week. I'm going to say SmackDown does a 2.2 next week. Unless something crazy big happens and then people tune in because of that. We're going down to 2.2 next week. And we're on the way down back to where they were with a 2.0 and a 2.1 on a brand new network. That means you've converted almost nobody. Despite millions more potential viewers, you've gained nobody. You brought the regular fan base from the USA Network to Fox. And then those people said, F this. Now you're doing USA Raw numbers on Fox. That's almost unbelievable. But yet it is believable because I said it would happen. SmackDown will not get a better rating than Raw. It won't do it. Because Raw is the show that everyone watches, and then when that sucks, they go, ugh, forget it. And now they've been burnt watching SmackDown. The ratings probably will be closer than they've ever been because SmackDown does have this edge with Fox, but Raw has an edge with the fact that it's the first show of the week and it's Raw. It's the big show. It's just looked at as the big show. Not the big show. Like, well, it's the big show. Where's he, by the way? Am I still blocked on Twitter from the big show? I don't know. I don't know if the big show still got me blocked. I don't know, dude. You guys have seen all my fucking wrestling videos. I've had plenty of fucking backyard things. I mean, why would anybody think that SmackDown, the way it's produced, the way that WWE is produced, would do better on Fox, really? Do we have to go back to the summer? You want to go back to summertime? Courtesy of WrestlingInc.com? 1.8 million viewers. This is fucking SmackDown, folks. 1.8 million, 1.9, 2.2, 1.9, 1.8, 1.9, 1.8, 1.8, 2.1. I mean, it is amazing for wrestling. But again, I'll say I was at the Joker movie the other day. They played a commercial for AEW, and the people in the theater laughed at it. The people in the theater were laughing. I felt embarrassed even like knowing wrestling, and I'm like, they showed Cody Rhodes, and he's like, and we're building this company, blah, 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 and the commercial's playing, and I'm sitting there, and people were just making fun of it and having all these inaccurate statements about it, and I was sitting there in the theater. I wanted to turn around and yell to everyone in the theater, guys, WWE has been awful recently. This is a brand new company. They're into their third show, and they're already over 1 million viewers. Like, Jericho's the champion. It just launched. It's you have TNT. Check it out. I wanted to like pass around cards and be like, well, give it a try. But once I heard the things they were saying, I was like, oh my God, like we're in trouble. We're in fucking trouble. There's 150 people in this movie theater, and the comments were like, what is that, like somebody trying to be the WWF? Like, or what is that, like the WWE or something? What is it? What did they change the name or something? Oh, what's that? Oh, isn't that Jericho? Oh, he looks old. He's still a wrestler thing, like, or whatever. That was so stupid. And like everyone just like, oh, wrestling's still on. Like, I didn't even know that stuff was still on. I used to watch that. Everybody. That's the comment from almost everybody. Oh, I remember I used to watch that. That's what they all say. Oh yeah, I used to watch that. I got stupid. I used to watch that. Yeah. Like, oh, that's still on. My husband watches it. It's wicked annoying. I hate it. It's like there's no female audience for wrestling anymore. I know that there are females that are watching, and I know a lot of them in the community. But I know a lot of them because they stand out. The female audience is probably and it's weird because there's more female wrestlers than ever. Female wrestling is like the best it's ever been in history. But the amount of female wrestling fans is just abysmal. It is so bad. We're comparing YouTube numbers and gender numbers the other day to some other wrestling channels. Me and them were talking, and I just said, what's your female audience? And I'm surprised that, some of them have a higher one, but mostly it's low. It's bad. Like, my female audience is 11%. A lot of them had a 5%. Some people had like a 13 or 15%, and that was usually like if they were like crossover into other things and they were like a good-looking guy or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm like fucking in dad bod, fucking dad of 3, 35-year-old. But there was like a 22-year-old guy who's a pretty good looking dude, wears like tank tops and he's cool and shit. And he's got a 15% female audience, but that's because he's like all ripped and cool and young and looks all cute and shit and whatever the fuck. But even that, it's like, dude, it's just the female audience is dead. It's unbelievable. You look at the AEW shows, and I mean, it's just like, wow. And the people in this audience in this theater were just shitting on it, and I was like, wow. You couldn't even convert one person. Like, I was hearing the conversations. I was listening really closely because I was very interested. And I would have thought you could. I thought maybe you would have heard one person say like, whoa, there's like a different WWE now. Like, I'll just have to check that out. Have you seen this? Or like, have you heard of this? Nobody, none of that. It was just all like negative shit, or nobody cared, or like, oh yeah, I used to sort of watch that, and it was always kind of silly. Like, I don't know, it's stupid. Like, it's just all bad negativity. Like, no matter what, and it's I think that AEW would have been better off showing a match. And I know that that's probably not possible, and I think that it still was a good marketing plan to play it in the theaters, because it still would trigger maybe a couple different people who are like, what the hell, Jericho, AEW? And they get on your cell phone and look it up, like, what is this? This is a new wrestling company. And then maybe they tell people. So I still think it's good. But I wonder if you could have put like a highlight video of a match on for like 2 minutes. Like Joey Janela and Kenny Omega, like putting their match on like in a 2-minute highlight reel, like through the table, off the thing, and like someone's bloody maybe, like, and then maybe you can't show that, but it is during Joker. And then it just could have been like AEW wrestling, blah blah blah, and Jericho holds up the title, and Jericho says like, I'm gonna have a little bit of the bubbly or something like that, like, and people might have been like, that's funny, like, what the fuck is this? But instead it was like a serious wrestling commercial, which I get, because I know we all want to, you really got to try to make it serious because you want people to tune in. But I felt like it was more of like just an advertisement for wrestling. Nobody really understood AEW, TNT. They just saw it as an advertisement for wrestling. I mean, maybe they could have featured more of the guys like with their shirts off and like, being like, AEW, like, come check me out every Wednesday night. The women being like, Wednesday night, blah, 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 Wednesday night on TNT, Wednesday night on TNT. I don't know, man. I don't know what they could have done. But it was just like, I was disappointed in what I was hearing in the audience. I was like, wow, this is fucked up. So I've been streaming for about an hour now, or over an hour. And we need more backstage shenanigans. I agree with that. Amanda Greenhole, what's up? What's up, Amanda? And I've got more to talk about. Pro wrestling is too scared to make stars. That's how you get fans. They make no stars. Yeah, it feels that way. And I mean, even AEW, it's like, yeah, they bring in Jericho. That's a great thing. Like, but they do got to start making stars. They're starting to make, like Darby Allin is they're making him pretty good. They're making, I think they are making them all. But again, I think that they're making all of these guys for their own audience, which is great. But they've got to find a way to transcend everything. And I don't know exactly how you do that nowadays. How you get all these new people to tune in. I think one of the ways would be social media. Like having some crazy shit go down in wrestling through social media. If they could get more guys to become a meme, kind of like how Randy Orton was like the RKO out of nowhere meme. If they could get more guys to become a meme to where like younger people want to tune in, like, oh, who's this skateboarding guy with the meme of the skateboard? Maybe Marco Stunt does something. I'm sorry, maybe Darby Allin does something crazy with the skateboard. And like then the guy does the coffin drop and there's like a coffin meme or something. I don't fucking know. It's Halloween. Think of something. And people see it enough and they're like, what is this? Like, and eventually they figure it out. I don't know how you get across. Like, because in the 80s, it was like, Hulk Hogan and Real American and people really believed it kind of. And it was America, pride, and wow. And they really kind of loved this music and this comeback and this fighting champion. It was this real atmosphere that they created. And then, of course, like NWA and, Mid-South and all these different wrestling companies, they did well because people really believed it and they got angry and they were marks. Like I said, my new podcast called Not Enough Marks. There's not enough marks because we're all talking about how it's all fake and how they can do better, and it's more interesting to talk about wrestling now than it is to actually watch wrestling. It's fucking more interesting to talk about it. So how do we change that? How do we go back and figure something out? John Cena worked. He hit a chord with the fans and became a star. And The Rock did it, because of his mouth, because of what he said, because of his personality. You have to find these people that just come out of the TV and grab you and make you tune in. Like, do you want to see what I'm doing? Because you're going to like what I'm doing. And instead, right now, it's more of like a standoffish thing. Like, hey, I'm Darby Allin, and now I'm going to do a coffin drop, and I'm going to do all these cool wrestling moves. And yeah, wrestling fans who are watching might enjoy it. But mostly it's not going to grab the attention of people outside of wrestling. Like, wow, I've got to see that guy jump off the top rope and do a coffin drop through a table or on top of somebody. They'll just look at that and be like, oh yeah, it's that wrestling stuff, whatever. But if you're flipping through the channels and you come across The Rock, and The Rock is standing there being interviewed, and someone's like, hey, so Rock, tonight you have a big match, and the person's sitting there with the remote and they're thinking like, is this that wrestling stuff? This is so weird. And then The Rock goes, well, The Rock's the people's champ, and The Rock says that I know you want to suck on The Rock strudel. I know you want to get a piece of The Rock. Rock, you'd probably like The Rock to shoot out a big load of white jabronis into your gaping hole so I can make you little rock babies, and he can sing to your mama, I'm a Rock's my baby daddy. I love The Rock. And someone's at home like, what the fuck is this guy talking about, dude? Fucking baby daddy and fucking suck The Rock strudel, dude. What the fuck is this shit, dude? What the fuck? Anyway, The Rock said, shut your damn mouth. The Rock's about to go out there and whoop somebody's monkey ass. The Rock, blah, blah, blah. But he throws the fucking microphone down, and someone's watching at home, and they're like, what the fuck? This stuff's ridiculous. Then fucking The Rock's music hits fucking... Then the fucking whole audience, and the fucking signs are coming up and suck my ass, The Rock, and The Rock got me pregnant, and like, look at these fucking signs. Holy shit, this crowd is hyped. Like, what am I missing? What is going on right now? The Rock's coming down the ring to whoop your monkey ass. The Rock dives in the ring. Some guy has a chair. He swings the chair at The Rock, but The Rock ducks underneath it. Then the guy turns around. The Rock kicks him in the balls. The guy goes, oh! And the announcers go, my God, The Rock kicked him right below the belt, right in the jabroni nads. And then The Rock, all of a sudden, rock bottom on top of the chair. Rock bottom! Rock bottom! Like, and the fucking crowd's going, brah! Brah! And you're like, what the fuck what is this shit, dude? Is this wrestling now? Holy fuck, what is this? Then The Rock grabs the mic and says, The Rock said he'd layeth the smack it down on his monkey ass. What The Rock is gonna do now is The Rock is gonna drive down to Jabroni Boulevard. He's gonna find out where this sorry son of a bitch's mother lives, and The Rock is gonna put the people's strudel inside of his mother, and The Rock not only whooped your monkey ass, but The Rock is now your stepdaddy. And The Rock throws the fucking microphone down and hits him in the crotch, and he goes, oh! And The Rock's fucking, the crowd's just popping, and the fucking Rock's doing the eyebrow shit. He grabs the mic again, he picks up The Rock and says, if you smell it, ow, what The Rock? And then people are just like on fire, and then they go to commercial break, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Then they come back from commercial break, and they're like, something happened in the backstage, there was this altercation, and then our cameras are there, but they've been instructed to keep a distance because we don't want anybody getting hurt. Police have been called, and then you see Stone Cold Steve Austin with a steel chair, and all of a sudden there's a guy running away from somebody, and you don't know what's going on, and it's Stone Cold, and he comes around the corner, then he smashes the fucking chair over the guy's head, and the guy fucking falls over, and Stone Cold looks down at him, holds the chair, and Stone Cold looks around and he walks away, and that guy's laying on the ground. Now he's bleeding on the ground, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck's that about? And then you find out that Stone Cold's looking for 3 guys that jumped him last week. And you're like, what's up with that? But now they're back to the ring, and now a match is about to start. And then the match starts, and the guys are wrestling, and they start to lock up, and they're moving around. The announcers are talking about Stone Cold, and you're like, what's going on with that guy in the back with the chair and the guy who's bleeding? And that fucking Rock guy was that Rock guy was funny. Is he going to be coming back out again? I want to see him again. That was crazy. The guys start wrestling, and you're like, man, I've never really watched a lot of wrestling. And then maybe the wrestling match is pretty good. Then you start getting into the wrestling match a little bit, and you're like, oh, this is kind of goofy. Like they're wrestling around, and then they go outside the ring, and someone gets thrown into the post, and it looks really good. They gets thrown into the steel post, and oh, boom, like he hits the post, and it looks pretty good. Then they get back in the ring, and then whatever the fuck, and they're wrestling, and then the crowd starts getting into it. Then then the match is over, and you're like, that was kind of cool, like what I just saw. And then next thing you know, The Rock's in the back again, and he's on an interview like, why did you do that out there, The Rock? And you're like, The Rock's not done with his ass, Jabroni's ass. Next week, The Rock is going to sodomize this mother. And you're like, wow, this guy's fucking hilarious. And they cut away from him, and then they talk about next week on Monday Night Raw, and then you're like, oh, wow, what channel is this? What time is this? I got to watch what happens next week, I think. That's how you fucking find fucking fans! You fucking idiots! Not a fucking midget fucking moron comes in the middle of the ring and goes, you know what I want to be is, Shorty Gable is, let's shorten that up a little bit. Shorty G. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's go back to when I watched wrestling. Let's go back to why I started watching wrestling. The first time I started watching wrestling was because I was in the video store. I was in the fucking video store. And I saw Hulk Hogan on the cover of a VHS. And I saw the Macho Man Randy Savage. And they were posing on the cover. And their muscles were just ripped, and their veins were like popping out, and there was this lightning over the top of it, and it looked crazy, and it said, WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers collide. And I was a kid. I was a 5-year-old kid, or a little bit younger maybe. I might have been 4 years old. It was, anyway, I think it was 1987 or 1988. And I saw this VHS, and I was like, what is this? And I picked it up, and it looked like He-Man or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtles or something. It looked like something fun. Looked like, what are these guys going to fight? What are they? What is this? Is this like He-Man or something like that? And I fucking, and I'd seen some wrestling, and my dad taught me a lot about wrestling and stuff like that, but at this time I wasn't interested until this. And I was like, can I rent this? And we ended up renting the fucking VHS. And I took it home. And I watched WrestleMania 5, and I didn't quite 100% understand, but I did understand that Hulk Hogan had some falling out with his tag team partner, and now this guy was like a prick. And this Hulk Hogan guy appeared to be this nice guy, and his buddy was angry at him. And I understood this as a 5-year-old. Then I watched the match, and I thought it was amazing. I was so hooked on this match, it was unbelievable. Then at some point, I think it was Hulk Hogan that got busted open. He started bleeding. And I believed all of it as a little kid, a 5-year-old. And I was so interested in what was going on. And I was so happy when Hulk Hogan won. And I was like cheering. And then I started liking his music. And then I was like, I would try to find like matches where I loved his entrance. I loved the theme. I loved how the crowd was excited when he came to the ring. I got excited. I went back and watched WrestleManias 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I rented everything wrestling that fucking video store had to offer. And then after I watched everything I could on wrestling, I probably had 9 VHSs, probably 9 to 12 VHSs. I saw them all, and I saw them repeatedly. I think I copied them even. And it's 1988, and, I kind of stopped watching a little bit because I didn't know how else to watch. The only times I could watch is when a new video would come out in the video store. So eventually, I kind of stopped watching. Then I started seeing, once in a while, I would find WWF main event on TV. And I would find WWE Superstars, WWF Superstars at the time. And I still had all my wrestling videos, and I still watched them, but I thought I was out of stuff to watch. Then I finally watched WrestleMania. I watched WrestleMania 6 in real time. I saw it, like, for real. It was crazy. And one of the first things that also sucked me back into wrestling, that got me watching regularly, was when I saw The Undertaker on Superstars, or whatever show was going on in the mornings, early on in the mornings. They started putting something on the Saturdays, Superstars or whatever the fuck it was. And I saw Paul Bearer, and I saw this Undertaker, and it was right at the beginning when Undertaker first had come out, and they first put Paul Bearer with him, and Bearer. Fucking, I was like, what is this, man? Fucking Paul Bearer was like fucking ooh, and fucking Undertaker was crazy. And the Undertaker attacked Hulk Hogan at one point, and I was like, whoa, like this guy's like, I've never seen anybody move like this. I've seen a lot of wrestling now at this point. Oh, you know, limited wrestling, but enough. And I was like, this guy's like, what is he fucking, he's like not human or something like that. What the hell's going on? And, you know, he's like fucking like impervious to pain, you know, or something. Like it was crazy. It was like, who's going to stop this guy? And just all that stuff got so interesting to me. And then, you know, I became a huge fan of the Rockers and Shawn Michaels, and I loved Shawn Michaels and loved Hulk Hogan, loved the Ultimate Warrior, loved all that shit. And I liked every aspect of it. I liked WrestleMania 8. I liked WrestleMania 5. I liked WrestleMania 9, even because I was a kid. You know, WrestleMania 9 was pretty bad, but everything attracted to me. And then right as I was getting tired of it a little bit, as a 13-year-old, because like the wrestling was getting a little repetitive, it was dying down. They didn't have the characters anymore. But I had rooted for Shawn Michaels for so long. Once Shawn Michaels won the belt and became the champion, it started getting boring for me just after that a little bit, because there's nothing left, not much left for me at that time. Ultimate Warrior came back, and I thought that was cool. Started really getting interested, but I always watched it. And right as it was kind of like I was missing, not watching as much, but I was still watching. I was always watching, but I was like, you know, kind of less interested. Right as I felt less interested in it, but I was still watching, the Attitude Era started. You know what I mean? Things started changing. And then it got super interesting. So, like, what I'm trying to say is I've never stopped watching, but I remember the feelings of, like, this is awesome. Then I remember the feeling of, like, this feels smaller. You know? Like, WrestleMania 9, WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 11, it felt small. It felt smaller. It felt like, what happened to the big arenas? What happened to the big Hulkamania and the Warrior and Macho Man? What happened to all that? Here we are at WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden, and it feels so much smaller. Crush versus Earthquake and like Men on a Mission, and it felt so goofy, and it felt way different. It felt, and you know, Yokozuna's the champion, and Lex Luger didn't win, and Bret Hart's in the main event, and Macho Man with Crush had a weird match, and just WrestleMania 11 was a piece of shit. And I remember thinking, like, this is weird. Like, it feels more empty than it used to. But I'm a huge Shawn Michaels fan, and I hate Diesel, so I'm going to cheer for Shawn Michaels. And then all of a sudden, the Attitude Era happens around 97, 98, 99, and it's like, all my friends are talking about this thing that I've always liked. Everyone's talking about it. It's everywhere. ECW, I'm watching NWA tapes, I'm watching as much wrestling as I can. The internet starts to get pretty popular, so we can find internet clips. There's internet rumors and websites, and I can get these columns by Dave Meltzer and all these other people that I never got before, that I only saw once in a blue moon in a magazine or a letter or whatever the fuck. And I'm telling you guys that I have watched wrestling since 1987, and I've seen it all. And I've seen all of that. At least. Not all. No, I haven't seen it all. All right. But I mean, I've seen a lot of it. I was watching wrestling longer than Kevin Owens, for God's sake. And I think Kevin Owens and me, I think I'm older than Owens by a year, or we're the same age or something, but I always hear him talking about, he started watching at WrestleMania 11. He started watching in a down time. I don't know why I brought that up, but the fact of the matter is, how do we create that again? How do we get new fans? How do we get new viewers? In a time where everybody, the business is so exposed. All a young wrestling fan has to do now is log on to YouTube and watch anybody reviewing it, watch anybody talking about it. Even the companies themselves break kayfabe all over the place. So even if someone believes it for a second, then they see an Instagram photo of all the wrestlers hugging and they go, wait a minute, what the hell is that? And the storylines are all generic, replayed, over-scripted, over whatever done. What is this? AEW is doing the right thing for the most part. NWA is doing something fun. All these indie companies are doing mostly stuff that's pretty good, except for when they allow guys to play a fucking video game during a match. That guy should have his balls, should have his head smashed in, and then have the other guy break his video game in the ring. Wrestling with an inanimate object. You're supposed to check the guy for something like that, by the way, and be like, yeah, you got to put that away, put that down. You're wrestling now. It's not taken seriously. So for the people in the crowd that are like, you know, they've just, there is no kayfabe. It's funny to see a guy with a Nintendo Switch. But for everybody else who's like maybe watching for the first time, they think it's retarded. Anyway, I know that I'm off on a fucking rant tangent, but hopefully if you missed some of this video, you go back and watch this whole video, because I think this has been a really long stream of a lot of things. But yeah, SmackDown ratings down. AEW this week needs to bounce back. Marco Stunt isn't exactly the most amazing guy ever, but he's also not bad. Marco Stunt is fine. He's not being overly bashed. He's not being shit on. And if he is, whatever. If somebody is going to spend 50 minutes ranting on Marco Stunt, then I think they really need to evaluate why they're not ranting on the Invisible Wrestler or the guy with the Nintendo Switch. Because if you're going to rant on somebody, that's who to rant on. If you're going to get angry about something in wrestling, about ruining wrestling, don't get angry at Marco Stunt. Get angry at the video game guy. Or the guy who wrestles with his cell phone. Let me duck under that. Oh, I got you. Oh, look at this. So next week there's going to be a guy who wrestles with a fucking phone. And then soon there'll be a guy who wrestles with a coffee cup. Ding, ding, ding. What's up? Hold on a minute. Oh, fucking boom. Oh, fucking gotcha. Oh. Yeah. Okay, and then the couple won't be Dunkin' Donuts. The couple say his name. It will say like fucking like Caffeine Cronin. Like I'd be Caffeine Cronin. Yo, you seen Orange Cassidy? You seen Caffeine Cronin? Yo, have you seen that new wrestler Caffeine Cronin? Dude, if I did that a couple years ago, people would have called me a fucking idiot. Yo, Caffeine Cronin. And then like after I knock the guy down a couple times, then what I do is like I do this. I go, boom, boom, boom. Caffeine Cronin! Then I drink it and all the crowd says it, and then then my finishing move is I give him a fucking like impaler DDT or fucking through the fucking coffee cup. That's my finishing move, is a fucking like a double arm DDT through the coffee cup, or a fucking package pile driver through the fucking coffee cup. By the way, Tennille Dashwood and Taya Valkyrie last night, package pile driver. Did anybody see that? Because it looked like shit. She couldn't even get her up. It was awful. Dude, that match was so bad last night. I can't even believe it. It was like, I'm praying that it comes out today that they had like fevers and they went out there anyway, because then I would be like, okay, I get it. Kylie Ray is in Impact Wrestling. Kylie Ray was like, I'm leaving AEW because I got personal reasons and thank you, but I'm leaving and I've got something really bad going on. And everybody was like, God, I hope she's okay. I hope it's okay. But there she is in Impact, like, they really needed her in Impact in AEW. They needed her in AEW. She was pretty damn good. She was also versatile. The women's division needs a little help. She would have helped them, but there she was at Impact last night, like hee hee. But I find now that like she went from being in AEW to like being all weird about leaving wrestling, but no, not leaving wrestling. She actually is an Impact, and people were giving me shit about that. I tweeted out like, why is she here? What the hell happened? Does anybody know, is basically what I was asking. And I had somebody be like, it's none of our fucking business. Can't ask questions? That's what the fucking... What? Yeah, I mean, not really. If it's not our business, if she doesn't want to tell anybody, no shit. But I still asked the question, you idiot. Just people were coming out like defending nothing. Like everyone's a stupid idiot on Twitter. Fucking Twitter is full of fucking idiots. I can't wait till that. I hope that site gets taken over by Russia and then America shuts it down. I never thought I'd say something like that, but you know what? Fuck it. Take the whole thing down. Fuck Twitter. I'm banned for life on Twitter for saying something stupid as shit years ago. I mean, that's not even bad at all. Fucking Twitter, you idiots. I hope Jack falls down a flight of stairs and breaks his ankle. Anyway. New Japan launched a USA branch. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I mean, good for them. I hope it does well or whatever the hell. Fuck, there's just too much wrestling. I don't care. Joey Ryan signs with Impact Wrestling as well, who's like one of the guys that I'd slightly give a pass to with the dick gimmick, but it's like, if I can believe that The Undertaker is striking a lightning bolt down and he's rising up and he's like dead or whatever the fuck, I can sort of buy into the steel penis thing or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like the schlong is like strong or whatever the fuck. Like I can almost get into that enough to say, okay, like I'm into that. It's a party. But I can't get into hands in my pockets like, let's go. Or fucking, look, I'm playing a video game while wrestling. Oh, look, I'm playing a... Like that, no. What's next? The guy who masturbates while wrestling? Like, oh yeah, come on, try to hit me. Oh, try to hit me. Oh, look at that fucking jigger. Oh! See, there's a difference. Believing that some guy has some kind of like steel fucking rod cock that can slam people or whatever the fuck, that's ridiculous, but like that's in the realm of stupid shit in wrestling that I can maybe look past or accept a little bit, but I know that a lot of people still can't, and I don't really like it, but it's above somebody playing a fucking Nintendo Switch in a wrestling ring. It's above that. It's definitely above it because it's different. He's using it as a weapon in the match. You know what I mean? Like, looking at a fucking Nintendo game, like, when you've never won a championship, you never won anything, and you're just showing up for the first time, like, look at, it's like, that is, doesn't mean that the guy's a bad wrestler, doesn't mean that the guy's a bad guy. It means that it's a piece of shit idea. That's a cheap way of getting some people to cheer for you and selling some t-shirts. You're using wrestling to basically get over with a small group of the crowd to make money off of them. It won't get over on TV. It won't work. It won't bring in new fans. It will just alienate some of the current fans and will pop some of the current fans. And you're using it to make money. I get it. Just like Coffee Cup Cronin or fucking Caffeine Cronin. Yeah, great idea. I'm going to go become Caffeine Cronin. You know? Or Caffeine Cassidy or fucking Caffeine Cuckery or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And yeah, I'm gonna start the match with the coffee cup. You know what I mean? All kinds of stuff I can do. I can fucking do this and throw the coffee so it spills on the guy and he looks at himself like, what the fuck? And then I just go. And the crowd goes, oh! And then I just go. And then I fucking do the thing where I drink the coffee where it doesn't spill but it goes down my throat like, ah. And then everybody just starts cheering for that, and I stare at the guy. Yeah, I get it. I can win the match, pour some coffee on the guy, you know? Maybe the guy at some point in the middle of the match steps on my coffee and it smashes everywhere and the crowd boos. I don't fucking know. It's so fucking stupid. Maybe the next thing will be a guy with a banana. He brings bananas to the ring and he juggles. How about juggling? That's the next thing, right? Guy with his hand in his pockets, now a guy playing a video game while wrestling. Oh, I'm playing a video game while wrestling. And the next thing will be juggling. Hey, come on, try to hit me. Hey, come on, try to hit me. Oh, God. Oh, and then he fucking throws it up in the air and rolls forward and then catches everything and then juggles again. The Juggalo, Jimmy Del Rey. What's next? I mean, seriously, what's next? The video game thing works as a prop after the match or before the match. That's how it works. If you came down to the ring with the video game and you were playing it, or you had it just in your hands and you raised it up like, I love video games, you love video games, check it out, and then you put it in the corner, then you got in the ring and you got ready to beat the guy. Then after you beat the guy, you went right to the corner and picked up the video game and started playing again and then went right to the back like you didn't even care. That would work. Like, this guy loves video games so much. And the announcers could say that too, like, John, this guy loves video games so much, he never puts it down unless he's getting in the ring to wrestle. He gets in the ring, wrestles, and right when he's done, the guy just goes right back to video games. That's like, it's like the most important thing to him besides wrestling. He said the only thing he cares about is wrestling and video games. And I said, well, what about the fans or your family? And he said, no, it's wrestling and video games. That's all he cares about. So the minute the match is over, he raises his hand And then he fucking goes to the corner. He rubs his video game. He gives it a kiss like it fucking won him the match. Starts playing the video game. Doesn't even acknowledge the fucking crowd anymore and just fucking walks to the back with the video game like nothing just happened. That's a gimmick. Because that's like, this guy is so funny, he just fucking cares about the video game. He doesn't give a shit after the match is over. But he has the match, and he has the video game. And at some point, the bad guy in the match can go grab his video game. And he can, like, try to keep it away from him, and then that really sets the guy off, and he goes after him. Like, you can do that stuff. That's okay. It's not okay to be in the match like, but whatever. I don't understand how when I criticize that, I got yelled at by all these people. Don't attack the kid. You know what, dude? When I was in wrestling, people beat the shit out of me. You know what happened when I left wrestling a couple times? My fucking tires were slashed on my car. I had bruises all over me. I had a guy punch me so hard under the armpit on purpose. Like, it's like I couldn't lift my arm for 3 weeks. And I was paying for that, too, by the way. You're paying for wrestling. I've been called an idiot loser. One time I only trained there for about a week, or for a couple weeks, times and times. But one day when I was training with even the guy fucking, he's Hanson, one of the War Raiders. Ivar. That dude shit all over me one day. I was like, you're an idiot. Like, that's stupid. Don't do that. You know? And that was about something in wrestling that was way more wrestling than the video game guy. Now that guy, now those type of guys who said that to me are like, leave this guy alone. It's great. What are you talking about? I was in the ring fucking verbally abused for ideas that were better than that weren't a video game while I'm wrestling. If I had been like, dude, I'm going to be playing a video game while I'm wrestling, it'll be cool. Watch this, and I'll leg sweep him, and it will be funny. They would be like, you're a fucking idiot. You'll never do that in my fucking ring, you fucking idiot. That's what they would have said. And if I had brought that to the ring and wrestled somebody, and they were like, yeah, Cronin, you're going to be wrestling this guy. And I was like, well, I got this gimmick with the Nintendo thing. Yeah, don't do that. And if I did it, I'd get in the ring with the wrong person. The guy would be like, don't do that shit when you're in the ring with me. And then if you did it, the guy'd probably break your fucking Nintendo. But now, all of a sudden, everybody's like, this is great. Fucking, and there's some of the same wrestlers that used to beat the shit out of kids and people in these classes. And they're trainers that would beat the fuck out of people. And now they're like, this is great. Bullshit, you would have slashed my tires. You would have slashed other people's tires. You beat the shit out of people in the past that you even liked. I'm not even saying that that's something because they hated people. They liked people they beat the shit out of. What I'm saying is that it's just so backwards, it's almost unbelievable. So yeah, New Japan US branch, whatever. Welcome to US, I guess. Good luck. If you need commentary, call someone else, I guess. There's so much wrestling and not enough new fans. Not enough marks, guys. There's too many smarks, or people that think they're smart, or people that think they know everything. Or people that whatever the fuck. That it's hard to create wrestling fans.
Super Chat Party.
What up, Junebug?
Joe, you are the man. Joining your Patreon Friday, and yes, I'll be watching monetize. This fireman dancing light skin tone pistol 100 points cigarette clown face, you have the best content.
Hey, Junebug, thanks, man. Or woman, probably man, but what's up, Junebug? I was born in June, so much appreciated. I'm going to take some phone calls now. There's another donation to play in a minute. I'll get to that in a second, but there's a lot of calls coming in actually now. 901, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, this is Caucci, bro.
Is who?
Caucci, you remember me from YouTube? I'll be replying on your videos sometimes.
Oh, yeah. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? What you live streaming about today?
What'd you say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What did you say about live stream?
Yeah. What is like? Are you talking about on wrestling?
Well, haven't you been listening?
No, I just called. No, because I just called in.
Okay, man. Well, listen up, man. Just go back and listen to the whole thing. It was good. I went on a rant about almost everything. Just about everything, man. And what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I actually was calling in from to talk about how in the hell did you cut your head yesterday? Was that yesterday when you cut your head open?
Oh, monetize this?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did I cut it?
Yeah, how did you cut your head? Because in the video, you couldn't hardly see, like, when you got cut open, but we just heard you hollering and stuff like that.
I mean, it's, I worked everybody. It's not real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, your anniversary was yesterday, right?
Yeah, man, we had a good time. We had a day off, and we took it really easy. So, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, happy anniversary, man. I was trying to put it in the comment section yesterday, but that time I did that, you ended the live stream, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. It was cool. And
yeah,
we had a good time. It was pretty calm compared to before, but I just had my mom watching the kids and stuff. So, but yeah, 234, I could probably find it and queue it up, but it isn't real. You know, a lot of people believed it. It's pretty good. Kind of funny.
Run over.
I think I don't remember when. Oh yeah, here it is. You know, you just gotta make it believable, I guess. I don't know. What do you think about that, Dave, huh? You like that?
I didn't want to do that on the tile in my bathroom.
You want to do that on the tile in your bathroom?
Yeah, it's got these little crisscrossy X's, and they're like kind of sharp, and I was just like...
Motherfucker. I'll take him right.
I don't know if there's enough in that, but...
What if the turkeys ate us?
I
don't know if there's enough in that.
I'd have a fucking X.
Oh, no!
Yes!
Get your heart out, Sammy.
Dude, I fucking... That's what I like.
Am I bleeding? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Whoa, God. Oh, fuck. Leah, take over.
That got exciting. I was like, wow.
Oh, my God. What did I do? I broke kayfabe is what I did. That's why wrestling's bad. See how great it would have been if I didn't say anything? If I didn't say anything to you guys? If I had not told anybody? Yeah, sure. Like fucking half of you might be like, yeah, he didn't really do that. But like the other half of not knowing would have been fun to have that mystique. And then later when Leah's coming down to bandage my head, makes it even more real. And I just tell you that it's that it's not real because, yeah, well, again, 40% may have believed or not believed it. The people that did or weren't sure, it makes it more interesting. It's less interesting when I tell you it's not real. You know what I mean? So I'm only telling you that to show you what it's like for wrestling. But it's like I could have kept that up and never said anything about it afterwards, ever. And that would have been way cooler. It would have been way cooler. Because the people that believed it would go on believing it, and it would be like lore. And people that didn't know would go on not knowing, that bringing interest to things. And the people that were like, I probably worked it, probably pretty much knew that, but in the back of their heads they had but I don't know. You know, whatever. But even if they did know it, so what? Doesn't change anything for them. Stop fucking breaking kayfabe left and right everywhere. You know? I don't know. What am I to do? I'm an idiot.
Super Chat Party.
Orton to AEW, as I predicted, was called Crazy Winking Face.
Dino. What's up, Dino? Well, no, it wasn't crazy. He fucking talked to them. And by the way, Cody Rhodes said that they were interested in him. Cody Rhodes fucking came out a long time ago and said that they were interested in him. He was one of the guys that they were definitely looking at. Now, I don't know what's up with Randy Orton's contract and things like that. But, I don't know. Conor McGregor was accused of assault again, by the way. That's weird. It is weird that Randy Orton, when he tweeted this thing out, Dino. Thank you, Dino, for the donation, man.
Super Chat Party.
Oh shit, catching Joe on a lunch break.
Thank you, Spaz. Spaz Phoenix, thank you for the donation, and have a good lunch. I'm about to have something myself. Sample my own insides. So when Randy Orton tweeted out elite level, which is a little troll there, he wrote TikTok, TikTok, and then he tagged Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, this Luke Harper, Riddick Moss, American Nightmare Cody, Chris Jericho, and I Am Elias. Don't know why he tagged all those people. Like, it was very specific people. Like, Luke Harper wants out of the WWE. Dash Wilder and Dawson want out of the WWE. What? So that's kind of weird. So that is very interesting. Jericho commented on the post stating, send in a tape and some pics and we'll see what we can do. Back in 2010, it was reported that Orton signed a 10-year deal with WWE, with his contract coming up soon, and Orton, for an easier schedule, a tease to AEW, could help talks with AEW and WWE. So that is how I see it. This is a clear move by Randy Orton to send a message to WWE. Hey, WWE, I'm Randy Orton, and I would like to work 30 days a year. And I would like to make $12 million a year. I'd like $12 million a year, and I want to work 30 dates. What does Brock Lesnar get? Oh, right, Brock Lesnar gets that. So I think I would like more than that. Oh, Randy, we'll have to think about, what, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. Look, Elite. Hey, Jericho. What's up, everybody? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling kind of elite. WWE. AEW says to Orton, hey, we're prepared to offer you like fucking $7 million. Randy Orton knows this. Goes back to WWE. I want that $12 million. Want that $12 million, WWE. Randy Orton is using AEW as leverage against WWE. There is a small percentage chance that he goes to AEW. But it's small.
Party.
Lydia Taylor, thank you for the $1. And what's up to the UK? Thank you, Lydia. Appreciate that, Lydia. Thank you. And so, yeah, he's using this as leverage, which makes sense. But this is what AEW has done for all these wrestlers and for everybody. They've given him this open door here. Pretty amazing stuff. So it's most likely that Randy Orton would re-sign with WWE because WWE will do anything to keep him away from AEW. So in doing that, it is likely that Randy Orton gets an overblown contract with not a lot of dates and stays in WWE. Unless AEW and the Khan family feels that getting Randy Orton is like the most important thing ever. You see, Chris Jericho got paid the most money he's ever been paid or whatever and didn't get an offer from WWE. But the reason is because Jericho didn't go to WWE and say, hey, these guys are going to hire me for this amount. Are you going to match this? Jericho didn't do that. He said, wow, WWE offered me this. You're offering me that. I want to do something different. And he just said yes to it. Like, let's go. So Jericho didn't have that negotiation ability yet because WWE wasn't prepared yet to start writing fucking checks. Had they known and had everything been the way it is now and Jericho went to join AEW, WWE would offer him some kind of huge amount. Would Jericho still have gone to AEW? I don't know. But I think he might have because I think that he was like, no matter what, Vince, it's not about money. I think with Jericho, it was not about money. It was about, I want to do something different. And my God, they're paying me the most money I ever made. So this is a no-brainer for me. I'm getting everything I want creatively as a person, and I'm going there. But now Randy Orton, I don't really think Randy Orton gives a shit about the creative that much. I think because he'd probably have to be more creative in AEW. It would be more on him to perform. Whereas in WWE, they just go, here's your script, here's your thing, go out there, whatever the fuck. And he goes, cool, whatever, man, just get me out of here. So if that means that he can actually get paid double the money he's getting paid now and appear double the amount less in WWE, sign me up for cruise control. That's probably what Randy Orton is thinking. I don't think Randy Orton really wants to go over and do something special and different and all these other things. I think he wants to fucking take care of his family and become rich as fuck and do way less. That's how I feel. That's the Orton that I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. But for AEW to have this guy in there that's like Randy Orton doing the RKOs and things like that, I mean, it might be a big thing for him. But I think Orton's just going to use this to make a whole lot more money in WWE and appear a whole lot less. That's my opinion. Back with the final thought in a minute.
Now, it's not like you're going to be reading the Dead Sea Scrolls or the Necronomicon, but if a few of these chapters influence your life in a positive way and help you become a happier person, then both of us will have gained something. This is my motivational book. There are many motivational books like it, but this one is mine. My motivational book is my best friend. It is my life. I must master it as I master my life. Without me, my motivational book is useless, and without my motivational book, I am useless. You dig? All right, enough of my yakking. It's time to turn the page, and I ain't talking about Bob Seger, and get started. Let's boogie.
What you just heard was Chris Jericho reading his own book to you guys. I know, it's called No is a 4-letter word. And if you're lost in your life right now, or you're having trouble, or you have those little stumbles, or maybe you're in a really deep, dark depression, or maybe you're doing pretty good and you just want to hear a pretty cool story from a guy like Chris Jericho, who's a damn legend in the world of wrestling, music, and so much more, well, then of course, I want to give you that book. In fact, I want to give you that book for free. Because if you go to audibletrial.com/JCS right now, you guys will get a free audiobook. And I want you to hear Chris Jericho's audiobook because I've heard it, and it's friggin' awesome. I mean, like, dude, the book is read by Jericho. It's sick. You're going to love it. You're going to love a free audiobook. Go take it. When you get a free audiobook, you help the Joe Cronin Show out. And we help you out because you get a free audiobook. And Audible helps us out by letting you have something for free to try their product. It's free. 30-day trial from Audible. Just go to audibletrial.com/JCS. It's for you guys, the Joe Cronin Show listeners, courtesy of Audible. And I can't wait for you guys to hear it because it took me, I want to say it took me about 3 months to get through it because I was that slow in listening to it with all the other stuff I listened to. But I became accustomed to it, and I actually became angry when it was over. Because I was like, oh, there's another one after this. And I'm like, no, this is his latest book. There isn't another book after this. And I'm like, God damn it. And now I'm mad because I want more Jericho. So then what happened is I started listening to his podcast because of it, which is great. But it's just it's different. They're both really good. But the book, I just wish there was a sequel to it already. Guys, that's audibletrial.com/JCS. Go there, you get a free audiobook. And I definitely recommend checking out Jericho's if you haven't heard it already. It's pretty fucking hilarious to listen to him try to read his own book. But also it's got a lot of cool shit in it. audibletrial.com/JCS. Also, remember TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com. Enter in coupon code Cronin, and you can still get it for 50% off for 3 whole months. I tweeted about this and talked about it. Email me, joecroninshow@yahoo.com, for information on commercial time or advertising on the show. Be much appreciated if you would email joecroninshow@yahoo.com. Don't email it. Don't go anywhere else. I might miss it somewhere else, you know. So just make sure you try to get it over there. I can't believe that guy. Wow, this is a huge storm, huh? Where is this? Oh, I don't know. I'm checking my email now. But anyway, yeah, so I think I've talked about just about everything on the table here that I wanted to get to. Yeah, I hit everything. I really think I hit everything. And I've pretty much... Yeah, I'm looking through it. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, have a good dinner, Denise. Most marks have become YouTube wrestling podcast hosts, thinking they know better than the pros. I mean, it depends on what you mean by the pros. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree. A lot of people think they're know-it-alls now, no doubt about it. I'm not sure that, you know, I really know much more than anything anyway. But there are certain things that drive me nuts to where I can't, you know, I gotta believe that I would do a better job, and I think it drives us nuts. But it's not even about me. I don't really think that I'd be good at doing much of anything besides doing commentary or being a manager in wrestling. Because I've been a wrestler, I've been a manager, I've been a commentator. I do commentary. Yeah, I'm good at that. I know I'm pretty good at commentary, and I know I'm pretty good at doing some of the manager stuff, but pretty much everything else, like booking and writing, I don't think I'm good at it. I really don't. But I know that what they're doing now is bad. You know what I mean? I know that what they're doing is bad. I just know it. I know 80% of what I see in wrestling right now is like terrible usually. Or in WWE at least. Everything else, you know, people are trying and doing pretty good at everything. NWA is great. I like NWA. It's a little bit limited with how, you know, it is and everything. But I enjoy it. I wish it was a little bit of a, you know, I wish it had a little bit more of a flashiness or maybe some music and stuff. But I get it. But I really love some of the other aspects of it that I don't get other places. So, you know, there's something for everybody in the wrestling that's going on right now. That's the one thing I can say for sure. But, you know, I do agree that everybody thinks they're a know-it-all and like, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that, and I would have done this and these things. I mean, you're right about that. A lot of people are like that, and it is, I know it's annoying probably to listen to sometimes. 210, hello. 210.
What's up, Joe? It's ADTR.
Oh, shit, bro. What's up?
Nothing much. I just have one question, then I'll go.
Yeah.
How long do you think NXT is going to last on the USA Network if their ratings keep dropping as well?
Oh, that's a good point. The other day I was saying something like, I think I was trying to say that, remember, their weekly viewership on the network was really about 400,000.
Right.
So, you know, I think a lot of people tuned into it thinking like, oh, it's going to be so different that it's on the net, it's on the actual TV now. And people like myself, like, I thought I was going to be hooked to it. Like, oh, man, the wars are starting. And all I find myself doing is like, okay, I'll watch NXT later. I just want to see AEW right now. And I can't believe I'm doing that because I'm a big NXT guy. So I'm assuming that the ratings are going to go down to about 500,000 and stay around there. They're going to float between 450 to 650, and that's about it. And I think they're going to just kind of stay there, and I don't think they'll go off TV. As long as they're above about 200, 300,000, I think they'll be fine.
What are the chances you think they go back to the WWE Network if it doesn't work like that?
I think that after 6 months, if this continues to fall, I think you could see it going back to WWE Network. I don't know what USA's expectations are at all, you know. But for a 2-hour show, I mean, it's still doing better ratings than almost, you know, a lot of I think 70% of the stuff that USA would put out. I think it's still doing better ratings.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. What can you do? Because I've been watching wrestling since '96, I believe. Yeah, '96. Today's WWE sucks. Even with today, the product sucks to me.
Yeah,
they have the
man.
best wrestlers. They just don't know how to do the storylines, to put out storylines and stuff.
I don't even think God. I mean, they have some of the best wrestlers today, but I don't even think the wrestlers, dude. I don't think some of the charisma in the ring is there. I don't think some of the selling and that type of stuff is there. I think a lot of the wrestling is just goofy shit, like the fucking just running into a corner with a knee and like sling blade and like stuff like that, and nothing looks that great to me unless they're doing some crazy flip shit. But even that, it's like, dude, the way that like the Dudleys and the Hardys sold was better.
Right, yeah.
Was better than the way people sell now. So when they go out and they have like a Hardys Dudleys type of match and they have tables and chairs and shit everywhere, a lot of the times it's not that good because they don't even sell it the way that you're supposed to me, or they got to kill themselves to like somewhat be good. And I don't know, man, it's just so weird. Like nothing's right to me right now. I can't explain it. I think Kenny Omega's I think Omega, like in Janela the other day, I think they were really good. Because they're both kind of like they both have that kind of charisma where they'll sell stuff and they'll do a little bit of the new style selling where they won't sell a little bit more. But I don't know, man. Like something's missing about everything. Something's off about everything. I don't know why.
All right, man. Thanks for taking my call, Joe. Just wanted to
Thanks, man.
About that. Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
thanks, dude. ADTR, man. Wow. I love you, ADTR. Love you, buddy. I'm glad you called, man. I don't get to talk to him a lot, and he's a big donator and a longtime friend here. No, I sent out some. I want to Easy Q. Thank you for becoming a patron, by the way. Appreciate that. And all the new people that signed up on Patreon. Thank you. Michael C. for becoming a patron. Thank you. We got 718 on the phone now. Hello.
So Cronin in the morning, baby. It's a good day.
Yeah, it's weird,
It's a
huh?
goddamn good day. Feels good. Well, yeah, man, there's a lot of fucking shit missing, I feel like, in fucking wrestling. Like, just like that. It feels like every fucking wrestler they have has no character at all. Like, you look at motherfuckers like Sami Callihan, who's like a fucking badass. He's the only reason not even sometimes even look at Impact, because I know he's going to do some crazy shit like fucking power driving someone's wife. Like, shit like that. Like, there's characters that can be useful, and I feel like they're in the wrong companies. There's more fucking matches than any promo. Like, they don't even introduce us to any wrestlers anymore. It's just match. And they get us over. They try to get them over with like a fucking moonsaw or fucking flippy shit. It's like, there's so much flippy shit now. It's like when we don't see flippy shit, the match is boring. And it brings out, remember when the fucking matches were more simple, like, Stone Cold matches and The Rock matches, where they would just do certain moves that were simple, like an arm drag, but it'll be a fucking good move. Now we see shit like that and we get bored because we're seeing so much flips and shit. It just feels like the objective now is like, look at all the acrobats. Instead of look at the great storylines we have, look at the great promos. Like, the Attitude Era was so dope because you had shit like the Corporate Ministry, the fucking Brood. Like, you had shit like that. It's like, it makes people tune in. You got fucking Vampire. That's fucking weird. Fucking Undertaker, demonic. You got a fucking Beast, Kane. There's a lot of shit going on backstage. Undertaker torturing people. What do we fucking see now? Pancakes.
Yeah, the pancakes.
When do we fucking see pancakes, my man? Pancakes, bro. Like, I really don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck is going on nowadays in the world.
It's too bad because like the New Day and the pancake stuff would work if everything else was good. Like, if everything else around it was really good, the New Day coming out with the pancakes would be fun. But because everything else is so shitty, that then when they come out with the pancakes, you just kind of roll your eyes like, ugh. Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like that would work. Like, if you put the New Day in the Attitude Era, I think it would have worked because everything else was so awesome. It would have been that, like, okay, there's so much deep stuff going on. Like, this is fun now, and the guys have pancakes. It would have been different.
It would have been different. Like, fucking grab a fucking pancake and slap him in the face with it or some shit. Fucking choke slam him on the fucking pancake. Some shit like that. It's like they don't know how to build their characters. You know how we had Viscera back then. That was a good character, but you know damn well he ain't gonna be no champion. You know, it'd be shit like that. Like, you have the characters who know their roles. Now it's like we have a bunch of characters and they don't know what the fuck to do with them.
don't have
Like
any-
Aleister Black.
We barely have any. It feels more like instead of characters, it's like, all right, you're going to be you, but then we're going to slap these sort of generic taglines on everybody. Like the man that gravity forgot, or the most interesting, whatever the fuck they call Finn Balor, whatever that is. Like, and just all these goofy names instead of like having their own character or personality. Like, it's all just forced and weird.
It's weird. It's boring. It's not interesting. It fucking kills your soul when you see a character that you used to love and they just fucking ruined it, like the Finn Balor demon. They fucking ruined it. You know when I really stopped watching wrestling, Joe? I got into it when the Wyatts was out. Remember when it was the Wyatts and the Shield?
Yeah.
And had this big thing going on?
Yeah.
When I seen that they fucking ruined the Wyatts, that did it for me right there. I stopped watching for a long time. I was like, I can't. Every time they have something going, they like shut the shit down and start fucking it up.
That's classic right now. That's what they
I feel
do.
like the only one-
They get something going and they pull it back or they ruin it every time now. It's just, you're right. It's been going on for years now.
It's so weird. It's like they're trying to punish us in a way, but for what? You're just fucking killing your ratings unless you don't give a shit anymore.
Right.
You know? It's like, holy shit. The only one who can make the PG, this is why I miss him. I used to hate him because he was so corny, but now I realize that he was the only one that could really make the PGL work was fucking John Cena. Because they'll just throw him all this corny shit, and he'll just make it work. I feel like there's no one else that could do that. They don't really have any faces that work like John Cena anymore. There's not really any faces like Daniel Bryan. He's about like one of the only ones that could be a fucking face if he wanted to.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of shitty heels and like no faces. That's how I'm looking at it.
And you want to say like, and even I want to say like, man, put a microphone on me. I'd go out there and, you know, whatever. But that's not right because Dean Ambrose has proved that. He said in all those podcasts, it's like he had all this creativity, all these ideas, and they wouldn't let him do that. They would just give him stuff to say, and he could never say what he really wanted to say almost ever. So
and it takes away people's credit because you'll think, oh, look, yeah, finally got to see him. And then you put him on the mic, and he's saying this bullshit, and you think it's coming from him, and no, it's really coming from the people who's fucking writing the script, and now it's making the fucking character look bad. I hate when they do that shit.
Yeah, and it all sounds like it came from the same person. The other day, Bailey's promo, it's like that was all written by Vince. Life sucks
Stupid.
and then you die. Vince wrote that. And then all the stuff she said, if you just read it, you can hear Vince McMahon's voice.
And you just know he's back there like, ha, 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 good shit. Like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, it's
fucking
like
hate you, Vince.
tell them that life sucks and then you die. Like here, go with that. That works. And say this and say that. And it's like, but even that doesn't work because then you imagine Vince saying it. Life sucks and then you die. And like that was like really powerful. But Bailey just comes out like life sucks and then you die. And she like sucks. So she like her like charisma is like on empty. She sounds like a quiet emo person or something. So then like you don't even care that she said that. Like it's just so weird. Something is wrong with everything and everybody, and it never hits almost ever, except for when you get the exception of Kofi Kingston for a minute, when he gets inserted into a match he's not supposed to be in. The crowd pops for him like crazy, and WWE actually finally listened, but WWE was probably thinking about trying to like they were probably starving to like, let's push a black guy if we can. You know, people think the racist stuff is coming up more and more and more, and they probably saw that and they were like, oh my God, thank God. Like, all right, push him to WrestleMania. You know, and it was like everybody wanted him to win and they did it, but then after that they started killing it again. And it's like they always do that. They always kill everything eventually. And you just can't get it. That's the most authentic thing that's happened since Daniel Bryan was Kofi Kingston being cheered for. And it's like out of complete boredom. People are bored. And then they're like, we like Kofi, so we're going to cheer for him. And he didn't do anything really but just be Kofi. It's weird. Like, it happens that way. He didn't cut some promo that was crazy. He didn't say something that made people go, oh my God, we love him. He just was there as a replacement, and people said, you know what, this is so stupid that we're going to cheer for Kofi because we respect all the years and all the things he's done, and this is dumb, so we're going to cheer for Kofi. So that's why he got cheered for. He didn't get cheered for because he cut a promo like, Kofi 316. He got cheered for because people were like, this is stupid, and this guy that's not supposed to be in the match is in it, so we're going to cheer for that guy. Like, that is a total, like, as much as that's a cool thing for Kofi, and it's true, like, people really did like him, and that's why they did cheer for him, as much as that, it was also done as a fuck you to Vince and to WWE.
Yeah, a lot of fucking goofy shit, and like that's a fucking pattern. It's like they have a chance, and then they fuck it all up. Like the King of the Ring, no one liked fucking Corbin, but then I start to like him because he looked like a badass. He had a new attire, he came out with the tank top. He looked at more badass, and his matches were great. So like, all right, now people are starting to like Baron Corbin. People are starting to like him. Then he had this match with Chad Gable. Chad Gable is looking like a face they can use. Now people are going towards Chad Gable, so now they have an opportunity to use Chad Gable as a face. And what happened? They keep shoving it in our fucking faces, giving us like 3-4 matches with them too. And you make fucking The Rock go on the Smackdown and just fucking demolish Corbin and just make him look like shit, call him an STD. And now like, oh, we don't fucking like Corbin anymore. He's a goofball.
Yeah, and so they had him rolled up.
Mike, and he just looked shitty.
And they had him rolled up. He lost in a roll up, and then The Rock made fun of him. And then Chad Gable, was starting to get, like you said, likable, and then people gave up on him because guess what? He lost a bunch of matches. So then people gave up on him. They were like, oh, he sucks. He lost a bunch of matches. And then he gets attacked by Baron Corbin after he wins. So then he actually wins, and then it's like, okay, he won, but with a roll-up. But now Baron Corbin attacked him. So it's like he's an idiot, and now he comes out and goes, oh, I'm Shorty G. It's like...
That fucking stupid name. Oh, my God.
Like, the dude looks like a fucking goblin. He's a fucking white guy goblin. Like, in the Shorty G thing, like, Vince McMahon's in the back like, haha, Shorty G. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. You know he's doing that. Thanks for the call, dude. That was good shit.
Go.
Love you, man. Good shit. Tonight will be the Raw review live here on the Joe Cronin Show. I am Joe Cronin. Rock Max Henry, thank you for subscribing. If you wanted to get something to me, email me, joecroninshow@yahoo.com. Hit me up on Patreon if you guys can. I will see you tonight live after Monday Night Raw. Leave your opinions in the comments section down below. If you missed this video, go back and watch the whole thing. I talked about a lot of shit on this video. And hit me up on Twitter @CorruptedPod on Twitter. And become a patron, patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Goodbye. See you guys tonight. Thank you to everybody who dropped a couple bucks, by the way, on the donations. Thank you. Here's some videos that you might have missed. Subscribe down below. Don't miss out on the daily content here on the Joe Cronin Show.